everyone, and welcome back to Fate's End, a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons game driven by fate. I will be your tale weaver for the evening. Of course, as always, we want to do our shout-outs and our announcements. First off, we want to shout out Tabletop Audio at tabletopaudio.com for the ambiance and music in our show that we use from time to time. All of the audio is amazing and completely free to use in your own games. Please, though, consider supporting Tim on Patreon so he can continue to make amazing sound sets. We currently support him, and we encourage you to do so as well. And that is Command TA. We also want to shout out, of course, Nine Realms Gaming. They make the top-notch gaming accessories from the finest woods this realm has to offer. They make dice trays, dice vaults, hero vaults, dice towers, all beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, epic. And if you want to grab some epic game gear, you can visit their website, ninerealmsgaming.com, and use our exclusive partner code Lyre10 to get 10% off. We also want to shout out Sirenscape for ambient sounds we use from time to time. We also use their online player. We want to remind everyone that our Discord is available to all our community members. That is Command Discord, so come hang out with us on Discord. I forgot to delete that. That's not anymore. Follow us on social media, everyone, by using the Command Socials to check Ink and Lyre out on all of our social channels, or you can also follow the cast with Command FateCast. You can follow the entire cast here on Fate's End. Of course, speaking of socials, again, happy Pride Month, and if you look at our Twitter, we are currently doing a giveaway of one of our Schools of Magic t-shirts, so visit our Twitter for a chance to win. Pride Month is almost over. We only have 3 days left in the giveaway, so go run on over there and enter today. It is the pinned post on our Twitter page. Of course, we want to wish our Deanna Smith a very happy birthday, so make sure to send some love to Deanna in chat, everyone. Happy birthday to Deanna.
Snog hearts all around.
Snog hearts all around. Don't forget to contribute those scrolls to our community challenge so we can bring a Snog tarot card into existence. We are what, at 92%?
93%.
93. We are at 93%. We are so close. Lastly, if you didn't see on our 24-hour live stream, we just announced our Kickstarter, the Stargazer's Guide to Aurora. So Zodiac is coming to Dungeons & Dragons, and the Stargazer's Guide to Aurora is a campaign setting for 5e that brings in a Zodiac character build system, new races, subclasses, and a robust world to explore. This is launching on July 19th on Kickstarter. You can use Command Kickstarter to check it out now. You can also go ahead and follow that link on our to the project on Kickstarter and get notified if you bookmark it. There'll be like a notify me button. You can bookmark it. So you'll be notified upon launch. We have early bird tiers that we anticipate are going to go really fast, so make sure to follow the project now so you don't miss out when it launches. Outside of that, tonight, Uramir is going to be recapping us with the last episode of Fate's End. So with that, the time has come. Let's draw our cards for tonight's episode of Fate's End.
Oh, hey, it's been a while. Me? No, I'm fine. Everything's fine. For now. Let me tell you what happened last time on Fate's End. My friends and I fought the Remoraz that was attacking a nearby town. Some members of Aurora's Blessing came with us, but I don't remember them doing all that much to help.
20 more feet of movement, and he's gonna use Tidivit to run over to Luther, and he's gonna be like, what the hell are you doing? like the black in his eyes. Like, Luke is so pissed off at these two that came in and did nothing, absolutely nothing for this freaking fight.
The beast was fearsome, but so are we. I suppose after fighting the likes of the Oblex and the Skyworm, we're getting pretty good at this. At least Loon seems to think so.
Because Nat won.
Go Praeria! That's right, Praeria! Get it!
Samson, it is now your turn.
I love cheerleader Luden. It's great.
After the fight, we all returned to the Dusty Anchor to unwind. Luden and I went to get Cassie as well. Hesperis went to check on Praeria.
does it feel like, going home, or does it feel like a foreign country that everyone is telling you is your home?
Well, last night, going home didn't feel like going home. I think my home is just my people. And I'll go where they are.
We all regroup to decide what to do next, and well, Sable's only a few days away. The city beneath the sand. The only lead I have on finding my father.
The things they asked us to make became more and more dangerous, more and more lethal, and my father didn't want to be known for making weapons and hurting people. Kind of ironic considering where I ended up, but so we tried to break the deal and pull everything off. We needed the money, but he wasn't willing to compromise his morals, not for a bit of gold. But Hush they're not really ones to negotiate. And so they came back, and he said he needed me to help him, and he didn't want his son making weapons. And so a man came in. He was in a red coat. And the first time he came, he took my arm and said that now my father wouldn't have to worry about me making anything anymore. And that's when my father decided to make me my first mechanical arm. And he was still defiant. He refused to help them, and so they got more aggressive. I'm not even quite sure what it is they wanted him to build, but he wouldn't even budge an inch. My dad, he was completely against them, and he knew they were coming. So he hid me right before they came in, and I watched the man in the red coat stab my father, and they drug him out of our home, and that was the last time I saw him.
We rested for the night and prepared to leave the next morning. During breakfast, it appeared that Finn and Samson wanted to leave a little parting gift for Aurora's blessing.
And you see running down the stairs Eula with bald as a baby's butt, completely bald and screaming. She runs down the stairs and she goes, "Ellen! Ellen! Something's wrong! Something is wrong!" And Zelen just kind of everything is going to be okay. It's going to be fine. You just would let this go upstairs. I will.
We traveled across the deserts and came upon the entrance to the Sable. The city beneath the sand. I can see how it got its name.
You begin walking the Vardo forward, and the guard just kind of gestures out ahead. Right this way. And he just points, you go around the boulder, and he just points straight. And there's nothing there, but he points straight. Right that way.
Straight.
You begin driving straight.
We can go down the all level.
It's terrifying at first, like being caught in quicksand, as the whole cart is engulfed and the sand just kind of moves up, and then you pass right through it, like being led down a ramp. The sand covers you all for a moment, and you are moving. Yeah. And then you break through. The sand covers you all for a moment, and you are moving down toward the city beneath the sand. A passage, an orange sandstone passageway from which you're now moving through.
I reach up and I just reach up closer to where Hesperis is and just touch the top of the Vardo, and I cast light and just, I don't know if there's extra light, but I want to make sure we have light.
Oh, there's light. When you pass through, this passageway is completely lit up along the sides of the passageway.
Cool, I do it. Light.
Turns the headlights on.
Turn the headlights on.
Oh, I guess we're conspicuous.
Welcome to Sable, everyone.
Samson and I went to collect the bounty on the Rimmeraz and met the overseer of the merchant district, Kevin. He was very grateful for our help and was willing to pay us handsomely. But sometimes information and a good friend are worth more than gold.
Say, a good friend's priceless.
I think so. I'm gonna leave the gold there.
No, I'm good with that.
You know, Mr. Kevin, we're gonna be in town for a little while. We're here on some family business, and we find ourselves currently not in need of such a grand gesture of financial wealth, but I think possibly if we could, maybe call ourselves friends.
I think we made the right call. All the platinum in the world won't help me find my father, but the information Kevin can give us just might. Speaking of friends, when we got back to the inn, we were approached by a man who was very keen on becoming a friend of ours, and of Cassius.
Yeah.
Yes, your friend Luden introduced himself to me. I'm Cyprian. If I might add, you all throw quite the party. And you see him run his hand from his chin over his face and into his hair. His clothes and appearance begin to melt, changing into that of a very elderly and shockingly familiar old man. Thank you so much for inviting me, sonny boy. And he winks at you, Finn, and moves his hand once more, appearance melting back into the handsome exterior. Well, I'm curious, I've been listening to you all. I know, rude, invasive, and all the informalities of proper conversation. I prefer to move past the irritations and get straight to the point. You are looking for something? Someone? I know a place where you can find the hidden.
So much for keeping a low profile. Of course, as soon as we arrive, we've been being watched. I don't trust this Cyprian. He knows entirely too much about us and we know nothing about him. And how did he even know about Cassius anyway? So many questions, not enough answers. Join us next Monday, 7:30 Central Standard Time, to find out what happens next on Fate's End. Ta-da!
Yo.
Alrighty then. So, jumping back into our session here. Oh, I'm still looking at my Hesperis' notes. Let me move to my session notes. We had a crisis during the intro. All right. We jump back in. As you circle Cyprian as a bird, Samson. You followed him. And you look down, and his legs just dangle off the edge of the wall. Down into the black chasm below. He inhales deeply a few times, and you see him exhale, and this murder of crows in the form of smoke just kind of comes out of his pipe. He takes the pipe out of his mouth, kind of tucking it under his elbow, his other hand forming a fist, now holding his head up as he looks down. And you see him crush the pipe in his fist and throw it hard into the chasm, breathing heavily. He looks frustrated.
I'm land on a nearby building, relatively close, probably 100 feet or so, still invisible, and just watch him for a little bit longer, just kind of see what he does, try to get a sense of his mindset, starting to that sort of thing.
He's breathing heavily, and you see him kind of like almost grinding his teeth a little bit with frustration, and doing a lot of those things. He'll pick up a rock and just kind of like toss it into the chasm every now and then.
Okay.
Contemplative.
Okay. If it looks like he's gonna hang out a while and have a smoke or whatever, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna think about, what this guy is and what he just told us, and kind of decompress and run through some of this information we just had. And then Samson's going to decide that he has some questions for Cyprian. And so I'm going to swoop down and I'm going to fly right up to the left side of Cyprian. And I'm going to drop invisibility, drop wild shape, and like baseball slide through the sand, like right beside Cyprian, hang my feet off right where he is, sitting up next to it, just land right there and swing my feet.
He just kind of like, and then his demeanor immediately shifts from irritation, and he kind of like cracks a smile from the side corner of his mouth, and he says, "Samson, was it? What a pleasant surprise. Come to negotiate without your friends."
Oh, absolutely not. No, I just wanted to come say hey. I got the sense that maybe that didn't go the way you expected it to. And just wanted to come hang out for a little bit. What you doing out here?
Contemplating.
You look like one who does a lot of contemplating. Hey, how do you know the guy inside? I saw you drop in a little bit ago.
Oh, you mean the storekeeper?
Yeah.
For the alluring embers?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went in and I bought a pipe.
smoking's bad for you.
I'll be sure to take that into deep consideration.
I don't imagine you're the type to really take all those opinions into your own. You're really quite impressive. The things no one should. And a little admirable. Tell me, have you been spying on us close by, or is it magic you've been using? Nah, you gotta have been close by. That's the only way you could have done it. It's the only way you could have known that much that soon. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna find a rock and just throw it over the edge. Watch it fall.
He watches you.
I had half a mind to push you over this whole thing.
I was going to do the same to all of you. There's so many external factors that lead one to making rash decisions, like you, for example, working for someone who stole something from me. Perhaps you needed coin, perhaps you needed the work, but here we are.
Did you really think about it?
Think about what?
Killing us. You know what? I almost don't believe that. Because I think if you had thought about it, you would have. Let me tell you a story, son. And I kind of put my hand on it. I pat him on the back. Long ago, my late husband and I were tracking some werewolves through the glistening woods. And we were following them because a friend of mine, a god to you probably, told us that we were to scout them out and see what their intentions were. So we went out, watched them. There were 6 fighters among them, 2 of them, and then 8 in total. 2 of those were always camp bound though, and we got to see that they were kind of always doing the cooking and that sort of thing. They like to play some sort of game where they would get this ball and bounce it between each other. It's like a 4-square kind of thing. And there was one of them that went to go smoke a pipe every time he took watch. And we watched them for about 2 weeks and discovered that they were planning to raid some of our supply lines. They'd been scouting them out themselves. So we did what every good ranger unit would do when their quarry has proved themselves to be the enemy. We killed that one while he was smoking his pipe and murdered the rest while they slept. They never saw us. Not a single one. And I don't believe you thought about killing us because you don't think we're your enemy. Because you would have done the same thing if we were. Because you act like me. So you're going to start being honest with him now or not?
I haven't been dishonest.
Lyre. I kick another rock over.
He kind of shifts in his sit as he sits there, looks down into the chasm, looks away. He seems a little irritated. And he looks back at you. After following you all in attempts to retrieve more information, you seem caught up in something that you don't understand, a middleman. And I do so try to refrain from killing innocent people. It came back. I thought the thief hoped the thief would slip up, and alas, I sensed it once more. I didn't expect it. Moving all over the place and then just disappearing. Thought it was destroyed. Now that was a rough day for me. Was drunk for quite a while after that. Decided to go out and visit the Dusty Anchor. Drink, have some fun with the locals, and as luck would have it, you all came straight to me. Saw a ship fly right out of the sky. Not inconspicuous at all. Had to see for myself, and lo and behold, you all make your way down the gangplank. Of course, I didn't know who you were. Wouldn't have paid you a second glance if it wasn't for the man traveling with you. Everything hit quite quickly after that.
Well, it's a very touching story. I'm sorry that any of these things bad have happened to you. I do encourage you to see the light of possibly being a little less, hidden in the shadows, especially since you came out so strongly out of them, I mean, that's one thing I can't really figure out, because you don't seem the type to mess up that badly, It's weird. Came out and blew your cover all over us. It was insane. All of a sudden, we knew exactly who you were and what you wanted.
You see the muscles in his cheek tense, and he averts his gaze, and his expression changes. He doesn't say anything for a long while, uncomfortable with the situation.
I tell him, just doesn't seem like you, mate. You wanna... And that's really the only thing I can't figure out about you yet. Because people like you don't make mistakes like that. So why?
He looks at... He avoids your gaze this entire time. And then he looks back up at you. And he says, because I haven't spoke to him in over 3,213 years and 118 days.
It's a long time to miss somebody.
He doesn't answer, and he looks away again. Or he doesn't respond to that.
I turn to a bird and fly off.
You fly off.
And I go back to the party. Or I go find Ludin, who's like screaming out at the night sky, like, Samson, where are you? I assume, I don't know.
So I'm guessing you go back, because you guys are all still at the Strands of Saffron Inn. I'm guessing you're gonna go back there. Would that be a good assumption? That's where Ludin is at the moment, so.
Yeah, we're still enjoying dinner. We're having a good time.
They're still enjoying their, what is it, oh god.
Meat
The,
sticks.
like the the communal grill station.
Yeah, Ludin would have only left if it had taken more than like 30 minutes. So if that took more than 30 minutes, he would probably be on his way out looking for Samson.
You would probably see Ludin walking.
Load up.
He's probably like south of the Strands of Saffron.
I just go land on his shoulder as a bird.
I'm gonna assume this
What
is
bird are
Samson.
you?
Like,
There's no way to know.
Magpie.
He's a parrot.
He's a pigeon.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals, like Samson.
I just go, because I'm a person.
It's like I've never had this happen before.
But it's like a person voice going,
Yeah. He'll just try and flick you off and start walking back towards the end.
I'm very disappointed I fly back faster than him.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Hesperis,
I'll also drop freaking Hunter's Mark.
Hesperis sees a bird enter the restaurant and has a moment of panic, but then does recognize that it is Samson. She was about to alert a waiter, say that there was an animal loose in the restaurant.
There's a bird loose
The
in a
manager
restaurant.
It's a plane. It's a plane.
You have any
No,
nets? We need to catch this vermin.
The diseases.
Does this happen often?
See your kitchen, please. She calms down when we recognize what Samson normally looks like as a bird, right? Does he have like an emblematic?
Yeah.
Is he the same bird every time he transforms?
It's a
Is he-
different
mean,
bird
color
every
scheme.
time.
Like,
Are you
He got
purple?
one little horn.
Are you a purple bird?
no, I flew up to the door, and as I was getting ready to reach for the handle, because birds can't open handles, I just turned into a person again, just walking as Samson.
I'm disappearing. No.
Just open. I turn back at Samson, open the door.
Do you hold the door open for Ludin or just let it slam in his
I
face?
slam in his face.
Oh my god.
Without a doubt. No doubts.
Yeah, whatever.
That sounds about right.
They're best friends.
True
guys.
bromance.
Can you guys believe this? He actually like shooed me off. I was just trying to sit on his shoulder.
Ludin, why
Crazy,
didn't
right?
you let Samson sit on your shoulder?
You know,
Perhaps she did not recognize him, you know?
He might poop.
He probably did.
Was gonna poop on him.
Oh, well, maybe that's why.
Correct.
That's probably it.
are we gonna talk
Probably.
about this or not?
Did you find him?
Yeah. He went over to that cigar shop. We know where we were just at, and got himself a pipe. Then he sat on the edge of the the ravine for a little while, and he didn't look like he was moving. So I assumed he wasn't gonna leave.
Is that it? Did you just spy on him?
I was trying to see where his hideout was, but he never really left anywhere. I was getting tired, so left him there.
Well, if he did know you were there, he'd probably be angry because it's not nice to spy on people.
I got the sense that he probably did know I was there. Seems like the kind of person who would have that kind of knowledge. Even he knows things that we don't really know, that we have no idea how he found them out. So I kind of got the sense he knew I was watching.
What did he look like when we were not there?
Look, what did he look like when they were not there? The same?
What do you mean, like?
Did he seem calm, or maybe?
He looked like he was in distress a little bit. Or maybe a little bit sad. I don't know, it's kind of hard to look over the edge of nothing into the abyss without a little bit of ominousity on your face. You know? But
I don't, but I
mean-
wasn't expecting that.
He looks sad.
he did look a little sad.
Very unfortunate for him. I do hope his evening improves. We want dessert, drinks.
Samson, can I get the sending stone, please?
I don't think I have them.
Yeah, you have the one for Kaya.
I'm pretty sure we put in the bardo, or it's in the bag of holding. I don't have it on my person.
I give Luden the sending stone.
Go put it in his pack. Well, is this all we're gonna talk about? Or are we gonna talk about what we're gonna do? Or
Yeah, that was crazy, right? What'd you guys, like, what are we gonna do about this?
Well, I'm kind of with Luden on the mind that we probably shouldn't stay here. Just, I think it's better to... The less people who know we're here, the better.
And we can explore the city a little bit tomorrow, right? I mean, while we're trying to find you know who. He winks at Aramir.
I was planning on visiting the temple in the morning, so I can ask around there, of course.
I think I'll be contacting Kaya tonight. See if I can set up contact for tomorrow. So are we agreed that we're not talking to this Cyprian? He's looking around at everybody.
Was that seriously up for debate?
Yeah.
Of course we're not talking to him.
I was pretty sure about it too, but Samson just flew off and he wasn't here for that conversation, so...
Well, what would we be hoping to gain from talking to this person?
Well, I mean, he seemed really sad, Samson said, so maybe he wanted to give us information. And
if he wanted to give us information,
like
he would have. He was probably sad because we didn't give him what he wanted, which was to talk to Cassius.
You know what is wonderful? He's just around the block from a Temple of Remblaze. They have public services for people who are sad. Hopefully the counselors there can help him with that issue.
Well, hold on.
what if he doesn't know about those services?
They are publicly accessible.
Maybe a pamphlet of some kind.
So first of all, that's hilarious. Secondly, Cyprian has something that we very much don't, which is a skill set that will help us find you know who.
But you called him dangerous.
Yeah, Samson, what...
He is.
Okay.
But you said we shouldn't associate with him. You said that.
Well,
exactly.
Well, he's dangerous, but sometimes it may be required to take some risk to achieve a goal.
Yeah, but what about calculated risk, like talking to people that we already know first?
Who are we going to talk to here? That will help us?
I'm kind of in training with one of the, most secretive information gathering organizations on the continent, so maybe I could probably start talking with them before we go start talking to whoever this guy is.
That's a good idea.
I have contacts in the church. I am a hymn keeper at the temple. This is universal, and typically the temple knows everyone who lives in the city.
Everyone?
Anyone. If you were born in the city, probably, yeah.
It does make sense that the church would know a lot about the Thieves Guild.
So wait, Samson, your opinion of Cyprian changed when you went and talked to him.
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about him.
For the last 20 minutes?
I've been watching, thinking about him. I think he's still very dangerous. But I don't know if that means that he's completely useless or that he can't help us. But we know one thing, that he needs something or wants something that we have. And anytime you have leverage, you can use it.
Okay.
Especially in these situations.
Let's rewind. Are we not all in agreement that we are not talking to him tomorrow?
Thought that we were.
I think we're all talking to him tomorrow. I think we need to cast our net to all the areas that we can, because I don't think this is going to be an easy thing to do. Right, Urimir?
Yes, but I don't think we should cast our net far and wide. I think we should use the resources that we have available to us now. We don't know anything about this Cyprian.
And we never will if you don't talk to him.
We see what we find on our own. If not enough, we revisit Cyprian, okay?
Yeah, I'm okay with that, but is everyone else okay with that? We have to be on the same page here, guys.
I feel like we're on the same page.
I feel like we're saying two separate things. Am I the only one that's hearing this? I'm saying I don't want to talk to Cyprian tomorrow. You saying you are. Ermir's saying he doesn't want to, but you're saying we're on the same page.
Are you guys not going to do your thing in the morning? And then we're going in the afternoon if things don't work out?
It takes more than a day to find out information, Samson.
Do we think it is at all relevant to speak to Ami about this? If he is completely comfortable being traded for information?
That's fair.
The manipulation in that. Love it.
Well, of course, we should bring up to him.
Very least, we shouldn't do anything without his opinion. You're correct.
Or, do you you trying to find your dad or not?
Hey, Ermir, I'm helping you find your dad regardless of what we have to do. But I'm with you in the sense that we should not be talking to people that we don't know before talking to the people that we do know.
Of course, and that is what I think the plan should be. Of course I want to find him, but I'm not going to go around asking random people in the street, hey, have you seen my father? We don't know. I don't trust anyone here yet. We don't know who's part of Hush. We don't know anything about this place. So we should at least start with the temple and with the Sparrowhawks. Those are entities that we can trust.
Okay.
I'm sure one of them knows something.
Okay. If we're all agreed on this very specific point, I think I'm gonna go to bed. Does anyone want to come with me tomorrow to speak with the Sparrowhawks? If not, I'll leave early in the morning, and I'll just go off with whatever information Kai gives me.
Wake me up before you leave. I'll go with you.
Anyone
I
else?
will be joining Hesperis at church, I believe.
I would go with you, Ludin, but I'm also going to church with Hesperis.
I'll go
It's
there.
very nice.
You coming, Samson?
I'll go over there in Loon.
All right. Then.
Ormir, could I have a short physical description of your father, just to for asking?
Yes, well, his name's Valerius. He's, a bit taller than I am, pretty much same shade of red. His horns kind of curve backwards around his head, almost like a crown. He's got eyes like mine, a bit of a beard, black hair instead of my purple.
This is excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right. Well, I guess I'll knock on your door in the morning. I'm going to go talk to Kaya. It's only 5 p.m., but considering how early of a start we're going to be getting tomorrow, I'd suggest those that are coming with me get some sleep. Look at Samson and Urimir, and he says, "Good night." He'll go ahead and walk to his room and go to bed.
Tell Kaya we said hello.
Sure thing. And I'll have the conversation with Kaya in a second. Y'all can fix this.
Sorry, I have to smash this mute button a million times for unmutes. All right, so Luden is going to bed. The rest of you all are hanging out for a little while before going to bed as well, or?
No, I'm pretty tired as well. I'm gonna go ahead and head up too.
Reese will do the same. Get started. Skincare. Set into bed.
It does take an hour. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how long it takes.
It does take an hour. She was like 45 minutes into her facial routine that time that Samson came back and said, "Put all your makeup back on, we're throwing a party," and it was untenable.
You have to wait the appropriate amount of time between steps for the skin to absorb things.
Exactly.
So, left at the table, Finn, Samson, Prayaria. Look at Deanna's already shaking her head.
Samson, I believe you. I think there's more to Cyprian than we expect on the surface, and I don't think it's fair to at least not include him in our considerations.
I think that's very wise, Finn.
Even though you told me in my head earlier not to.
I stand by that. I stand by that. He's a very dangerous person.
Are you attempting to lie to Finn, Daniel?
I think I'm not attempting to. I am. Straight up am.
I do want.
Wait. I mean, what do you mean? Like, I'm not. Like, he still is. All these things are true.
Okay.
He lied earlier about having just watched Cyprian and not spoken to him.
That was way earlier.
No.
That was way earlier. I lied.
And he got away with it.
I do at this point, because I do at this point want to point out for you, Finn does have a passive insight of 18.
I mean, I said what I said. I said what I said, and I'll continue saying. I think you're absolutely right. I think there's more to him than we know now, and I know Uri and Luden want to kind of do this thing the right way, but I think what they're asking to get done is really hard. This is not gonna be easy. You don't just find people that have been gone for months, and you definitely don't find them when they're in the clutches of people like this. Because I feel like if Kaya and her people could have gotten them out by now, they would have.
I think the main concern is that we need to ensure, and he looks at both Prayaria and Samson, that we need to always have the upper hand. Because we know what can happen when we don't. And we put our trust in somebody that we feel might help.
Yeah. Well, right now, we kind of do have the upper hand on Cyprian, right?
I don't know. If we did, he wouldn't be so dangerous.
I feel even if Even if we don't make deal tonight, I would like to talk more with him. I agree that friend is not ally, and ally is not necessarily friend. But I don't know which he is yet.
I think that'd be impossible to know right now.
So, we get more. We know more.
Our friends don't want to know more. They made that abundantly clear.
Well, maybe we just have to get more without them knowing.
I'm trying to not laugh at Daniel smiling.
That's straight up what Samson's doing.
Secrets.
Straight up. It's like,
If all of us are gone, they'll notice. But if only one of us is gone, then they might not.
We make no decisions. We speak. All of us are one. We speak with him. We don't decide anything alone.
Yeah, well, Samson went and watched him.
Samson is Samson, and now we are making deal together.
Does he get all this excuses for being Samson? Samson, and
He made decision alone this time. I cut off his pinky toe, okay?
okay.
that checks out. Checks out. I think that would be what's best for Erimir. Because the sooner we get out there, the sooner we can start the wheels turning on that, the better off Erim's going to be. He just doesn't know it yet, and you can't really blame him too much because he's scared. He's scared because his dad's in trouble and he doesn't know what to do. He's never done anything like this before. Of course he is.
So really, we're just helping him along.
We're really helping him out. Honestly.
Because we all just have his best interests in mind.
Yup. I know I do. Uri's my best friend.
Mine too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we know what we have to do.
Drink enough so that I can be half drunk for the trip to Sparrowhawks tomorrow. Right?
Right.
Okay.
No.
And I order more drinks.
Priori looks concerned.
Christian and Brandon are absolutely murdering me right now.
It's been wonderful watching all three of them react to this moment. The waiter brings more drinks, okay? A round of drinks for you all. Some cactus pear wine. Or prickly pear wine. Very reddish pink. Very, like, a very pink hue. Very, almost like beet colored.
I'm gonna assume that we're gonna, like, get up at like 4 a.m. knowing Ludi. So I'm gonna plan to start my long rest at like 8, go to sleep at like 10, drink the whole time.
Drink?
Good question.
Keep you company.
I mean, they probably brought you like a pitcher, you know, for the table.
Sam's gonna drink out of the pitcher.
Samson takes the pitcher and says, "Get them glasses."
Like, you only brought one, there's 3 of us. Like, what is this?
We'll put some aside in like a little flask as well.
I know we all ordered drinks.
All right.
I feel this is not the best idea, but
So are you all getting drunk?
I mean, not like just like casual drinking at the bar, you know.
Okay.
Like-
Just binge drinking, you know.
Just
Just
Yeah,
casually
casual.
binging.
Casual
Just
binging
casual binge, yes.
and planning to betray the party and the
They're
explicit
playing Never Have I
requests.
Ever.
Realistically, probably Samson just keeps us up telling stories for the rest of the night.
Oh yeah,
Most
like
likely.
Praeria and Finn absolutely do not understand the game. They're just getting drunk anyway.
So you guys stay up casually drinking until what would you say 4 a.m.?
Like 8.
8
8
a.m.
or 9 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Joe's like,
And then-
jeez.
And then
Aaron's like, level of exhaustion.
Yeah, I was about to say. Okay, so 8 p.m.
that would be
Okay.
funny. It would be so funny.
You guys chill and relax and enjoy the music and have delicious prickly pear wine native to the area and just enjoy the evening until you all go to sleep and take your long rest.
So as Luden sits down on his bed, he'll pull out the sending stone and he'll just say, Kaya, if you have any contacts in Sable, we would appreciate meeting them. We are looking for Iramir's father and need help with contact tomorrow. That's 25 words. So that's all I can say tonight.
Kaya responds with, We have a small group. And no, I can't do an accent and count my words at the same time. I'm sorry. We have a small group stationed at the hidden outpost there,
11.
commanded by Hennevi.
All right.
I love Hennevi.
I can't really say anything back, so he'll just, all right, I guess that's it, and put it in his pack, in preparation for whatever may come tomorrow. He will cast Goodberry a good 5 times, and put all of them in his pack, just in case some horrible thing goes wrong tomorrow. So he has 50 good berries ready to go. And he'll go to sleep.
All right, so you all take your long rest. Oh,
I feel like
what time we getting up?
Luden
Luden.
senses a disturbance in the forest.
Good.
He does.
He has nightmares.
Someone
The
has
very
to.
thing that would make him the angriest in the world has happened.
He doesn't know about the gold and or this, so it's okay. He's happy. He's great. So yeah, Luden will probably get up.
What you don't know won't hurt you. What you don't know.
Yeah, Luden. So he went to bed at probably 5:30, 6 o'clock. So he'll get up at 4 a.m.
Okay, let me
Growing
go.
boy.
I don't know if I can go back in hours on this thing.
Oh, that's
so
that's fine.
we'll just wait.
He will definitely get up at 4 a.m. Check all his stuff. Put his hood up, and he'll go up to the room, and not like he'll just tit, and hopefully somebody hears
At 4 o'clock in the morning. Who?
at 4 o'clock in the morning.
The passive. Who has the highest passive perception? Outside of
Hesperis usually
Luden?
wakes up at 5.
Praeria and Finn. Hesperis did go to bed early, so Hesperis would
I
probably
went to
be
bed
up.
early.
He did.
He was better around the same time I did.
Yeah, I went up right after Luden did.
Okay. If you plan to get up that early from going to bed early, Ermir and Hesperis can already be up. Finlai and Praeria, the knocking probably would wake you up if you weren't up already.
Oh, so I woke up the whole room.
Samson would probably still be asleep.
Everyone else woke up and they didn't Ermir waking up doesn't wake me up. Ermir's rolling out of bed.
I'm very quiet.
Just whatever it is however you want to emerge from your beds this morning. Have at it.
I hear Erd
Like
get up and
Snow
I
White.
do
Yes, I wake up and I sing to Umber.
Birds come in from underground.
What do you
to help
sing?
put on things.
What do I sing? I don't know. I just we harmonize
Do
together.
you just
like,
beep at him like beep, 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 boop, beep,
Exactly what I
boop,
do.
boop, 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 beep.
I roll out of
1 0
bed.
1 1
There
0
you
0
0
1.
0 1 1 1.
I roll out of bed with the same clothes I was wearing yesterday, and then
Of
go to
course
the
you
door.
Ready?
Yup.
Yeah. If I would, yeah. Let's go. Ready.
Go.
All right, so the three of you head out. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So after a long rest, I will hand Luden back the Archbane.
Oh,
And,
thank God.
Yeah. And around the little circular part where the arrows normally shoot through, you see there are, like, some runes carved into it, like, and they kind of glow a little bit as you grab the bow. And I'll say, you're going to have to attune to it, but once you have, you shouldn't have to worry about ammo anymore.
Click in the scabbard.
Oh, that's very thoughtful, Erd.
His whole vibe is even heightened. He's like, yeah, all right. He feels great. In his mind, he's just running through all the poisons in his head that he could now put on all those other arrows instead of having to worry about this one. It's just like, oh, this could be good. This could be good.
Meanwhile, you see Cassius in the corner with some pliers, bending back the center of his plate armor, working on fixing parts of his armor.
Real quick,
Pressure.
if I see him doing that, I'll approach him. I'll say, do you want some help?
In
I
3
would-
months.
I would love some help. I didn't want to ask. I know how busy you are and how you've been, creating so many different things for all of your friends, of course, and I didn't want to impose.
Hey, at this point, you're my friend too, Cassius. And he'll hold his hand out, and a little mechanical spider will come out from his from up under his sleeve and like crawl off of his hand and then jump onto the armor, and it'll start weaving a little magical thread, and he will cast mending on the armor.
Nice.
All right, guys. I have our location, I have our location. So, if you're ready, let's do this thing. And he'll pop his hood up.
I will put my hood up as well.
I just use disguise self to look like I have a hood, and as if it's up as well. I also make myself look like a human, like just a regular human too.
Exactly.
But I also have a hood.
It's all right, let's go. And Luna's just gonna start. He's gonna grab his water, put it on his hand again, and just put it across the book, and start using it as a guide to where they're going to look for an enemy. Yeah.
So, as you make your way out... Oh, thank you for the resub, Lotsky. And thank you for the follow, The Blacksmith. Oh, nope, I don't want to open up Outlook. All right. So, tell us how you find this hideout, Luden.
All right. So he hasn't used the book in a long time. Like, we haven't used the book since maybe like the third episode that Luda was on. So he is still a little rusty. He starts to kick himself a little bit because he hasn't even been looking for this, like using the Sparrowhawk's resources as much as he probably should have. So he makes a mental note to do that some more, get some more practice on it. But like I said, he takes some water out of his sack and puts it on the paper. And what the paper does is it starts to, the water goes to specific directions. It kind of makes an outline of the entire city. Then on one little spot, a little rune symbol shows up, and it starts to glow on one little spot in the city. It doesn't really like label where any of these things are, but he does know that direction. As he continues and holds the book open still, though, it'll zoom out and go to where his position is exactly. And then it will have two little dots glowing. And then one is, it goes into the symbol of the Sparrowhawks. And then the other one is just a dot, and that's the location of where the Sparrowhawks are. So he has an idea of where he is and where that symbol is, and an outline of the city. So he knows he just has to follow it wherever he goes to that dot.
Gotcha. And I'm so sorry, Flock Obama actually gifted the sub to Lotsky, so I apologize. I just saw the little notification pop up on screen and it said Lotsky. Thank you, Flock Obama. Okay, so yes, so you pull out this notebook and you begin to move forward, and it begins to pull you in the direction northwest in the Emerald District of Sable. You wander past a few houses to a plateau with very little supports. It looks to be why a home has yet to be built here. You look out and see this very rough, and I've kind of marked it. I've marked it on the map with the little green circle.
Like here on the west side?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did I not? Yes,
yeah,
I see it.
Okay, I thought you were, because I said northwest, and I thought I accidentally said the wrong direction, but yes, it's correct. Yes, so that little green circle. You look out and see this very rough sandstone wall going all the way up to the ceiling, up to where the gaps above allow the sand to pour through. It looks like a wall, nothing more. But you know better. How do you open the door to enter this secret location, Ludin?
All right. So the last time they opened it, it was behind a waterfall, and he had a pretty good idea of how to do that with like more water. This time it's a really dry location. So after he's gotten to that, he just flips through the book a couple of times to see if he can find the codes for sand and sand areas and stuff like that. And then he finds it. And he walks over to the wall and starts to investigate along the wall, looking for any type of symbols or anything like that. And for a second there, he's like, dang it, I am definitely falling behind on trying to figure out, just researching what I'm supposed to have this stuff memorized by now. So close the book up. And then as soon as he closes the book up, there'll be a little wind that pushes off the front of the wall, and he'll see like the end or the beginning of like one of the letters that he was looking for. And then afterwards he'll cleep through, and then he'll read what it says. And it says like right behind here, but in this whatever like specific language the Sparrowhawks are teach them for everyone. And he'll just start searching this area, and he'll tell Uramir and Samson to come over. He'll be like, there should be a lever around here somewhere, just in this area, come help me. And at a certain point, one of the three of them will probably find it, and it'll be hitting like right like it'll be like a false rock jutting out from like this area, and all you have to do is push it up and push the button right behind it and put it down. But he will keep all of this in mind for the next time that they have some types of sandy area, that this is the type of levers and or buttons that they use. So
looking through your book and then pressing that button, you know you can walk through the wall now.
Oh yeah.
The wall it still looks like a wall is there, but you know you can walk through it.
And then, so with that, Luda's gonna be like...
You almost feel like some air, just kind of like a puff of air as...
He'll get a little excited because he knows the other two don't know about it, and he'll be like, and he'll just start walking straight through the wall.
You just see like Harry Potter going through like the between platform 9 3/4. He just walks through the wall. You just all watch that happen.
I nonchalantly follow. This is how things work. But I imagine that it's like it's a little early, so he like barely hits like the edge of it, so it like just shoulder checks his shoulders, like oh, and like falls through.
I walk in looking mildly impressed. I knew we were coming to a secret hideout, so it's like, yeah, that's a secret hideout.
As they come in, Ludin is
hilarious.
definitely like disappointed at like the lackadaisical attitudes of these.
You should have brought Finn.
Yeah, Finn
Finn
would
would
have
have been like, whoa!
With that, he'll just pop his hood off like, and start walking into
like-
whatever this hideout is.
It's like, are we supposed to be impressed?
Yes.
I described it to myself.
You all enter, passing through. This safe house is much larger than the others, almost like an outpost. And you immediately see Sparrowhawks. There are at least 4. The outpost itself is a vertical, somewhat narrow, like cave dwelling that goes up hundreds and hundreds of feet, like entering a tall tower hotel lobby and being able to see the elevator's like full height distance. Although instead of an elevator, obviously, you see these kind of like sandstone stairs that kind of lead up the wall. You look behind and you see this kind of like transparent illusion masking the like Swiss cheese gaping holes in the wall, all up the wall, that allow the Sparrowhawks to view the city at varying heights without anyone taking notice. Looking through the illusion from the other side is kind of looking through like sheer fabric. And you see 2 of the Sparrowhawks manning the highest and middle section of this built-in tower. And at some point, you're able to kind of catch the light reflecting off the sand pouring from up above and down below. On the base level that you guys have just walked in on, you see this huge brazier that kind of lights up the entire space all the way up to the tallest watch post. You're immediately approached by the other 2 Sparrowhawks that are at ground level with you. One, a Dragonborn, has their bow drawn and pointed at you. The other, a fire Genasi woman with smooth skin, very subtly kissed with a few freckles. She has flowing, reddish, almost pink, braided hair that pools down to just between her elbows and shoulders. They smolder with embers at the tips. Her ears are pierced with 2 small hoops at the top, and 1 large coin-like earring at the bottom. Her eyes are silver gray, focused, piercing, and adorned.
I love it. Like, and all these people, like they look like my family.
Piercing and adorned with a small stripe of gold eyeshadow. She dons moss green, almost black moss green leathers that go up to her chin like a turtleneck. The leathers aren't flashy at all. They don't have any embossing or engraving or tassels at all. In fact, they are so matte and plain that when she stands still, she almost looks like a shadow, and you guess that's on purpose. On her back, a dark hooded cloak of a similar colored material. Plain, unordinary, so as to not draw attention. And she looks over at you all. All right, which of you has the authority to be here? Step forward, show your authentication, please. Quickly.
Yeah, Ludin will step forward with the book and just turn it to, and then he will also be like, and we also have this, and he will pull out the sending stone that's like direct link to Kaya, and he will hand both of them to her.
She kind of glances over them, like flips through your pages, looks at you, flips through some more, closes it, hands it back. Wonderful. Are they with you?
Yes, they are with me.
She looks at the rest of you, of course not Ludin now. Now, you know this location? You'll do well to forget where it is. Do we have an understanding?
Sure.
Ludin will like stare at like Samson, like don't embarrass me, kind of.
Be on your best behavior, Samson.
You both agree?
Yeah.
You salute?
Sure.
Okay. Wait, do you say yeah, sure, or yeah?
I say yeah, sure.
She kind of like narrows her eyes at your answer.
Yeah, Ludin just holds his hands up. He's like, you're out of my. I can't. He'll be like, come on, dude. Like,
Why are you so disrespectful, Uri? Come on.
How does she expect us to forget it? We just got here.
And then Ludin's
know,
gonna
it's a
be
good
like,
point.
Ludin's gonna step in and
Good
channel
point.
his inner Hesperis and just be like, please forgive him. He's it's. And then he'll calm down. his father was kidnapped, and that's why we're here. He's a little on edge. So am I. Wow, this place is amazing. His name is Ermir. His name is Samson. Kaya sent us. Is there anywhere we can go and sit and talk?
I cast message to Uri, and I say, Uri, what the fuck? He hasn't even confirmed them yet. Like, what is happening? He's telling them everything. Are you concerned?
I mean,
he didn't even ask their names.
You're right, he didn't, but I mean, they're here, aren't they?
Okay.
Would you find Sparrowhawks in Sparrowhawk hideouts? That's kind of how it works, right?
Yeah, unless Hush killed them all.
I just give Samson a very serious look. Like,
I say it in message. I say it in message, so I'm just like. Cut my eyes over.
Anyway.
The normal somatic component of message is to point at something. I like for Samson, he doesn't have to point. He just like looks.
It's just him cutting his eyes. After you tell her that, Ludin, she just kind of like straightens up a little bit and tilts her head looking at you. Well, thank you. I prefer the straightforward, and I appreciate you coming straightforward and telling me that right up way, so perfect. Thank you. Lassie, you may stop aiming at our guests. Apologies for the informal greeting, but, this isn't a desert retreat where we serve tropical drinks. You understand, I'm sure. But now that we all have that out of the way, that nasty business, I can show you where you may stay while here in Sable. Again, I find it best to be straightforward as possible.
And in the spirit of being straightforward, there are 3 more members of our party that did not decide to get up so early. And will probably be joining us. I will make sure to escort them in. Follow all the rules and make sure that they also forget the location.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ludin.
What did you say your name was again?
My name is Henevy. Not the first, named after my mother.
Nice to meet you, Henevy.
And a pleasure you as well.
And your dragonborn friend over there?
Lesser.
Oh, I'm Samson.
Hello, Samson.
This is Uri.
How long have you all been in Sable?
A few months.
Oh. Okay, do you think we can sit down and talk somewhere? We have quite a bit of information that we would like to give you, and that we're hoping that you could help us with.
Of course. Let me show you where you'll be staying.
Okay.
She leads you to a few carved out bunks, very similar to those kind of like Japanese hostels where beds are kind of stacked up on top of each other in pods. They're small and cramped, but enough of them to give about 20 Sparrowhawks their own small bed and space. And each space grants you somewhat privacy with a curtain.
Is there any spare blood from the Sparrowhawks who died here?
There's no blood.
Just lying around.
I just asked the question. I just wanted to look around. It's okay.
There's no blood.
All right, cool.
Start making me regret bringing you.
Good to know.
And he will go ahead and take his stuff and put his pack and stuff in one of the little thingies, like the little cubbies, basically. And he'll gesture that Samson and Ermir can do it, but just kind of over shoulder kind of thing.
She looks at you, Ludin. Next to me. Interesting. Well.
Oh. Yeah. Sure, why not?
No, what she was saying is she took notice that you put your bag next to hers, that was right on top.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, forgive me. I can move it a little further if you would like."
No, it's fine. I sleep here as well. I don't have any kind of special chambers, I'm not above those that I command. Although I will be above you. But not in that way. But I will be sleeping above you.
Yeah,
Let's not make it weird.
Okay, yeah. And let's talk. Yeah, let's
Yes.
talk.
All right. Down by the brazier. The others will. Lesser will join us, but the others will keep watch.
All right, and he will follow down by the brazier.
All right.
Yep, we all go.
You all regroup down at the brazier at the very base level once more. And she just
And,
kind of stands there, legs apart, like, you know, like starship captain-like, with her hands behind her back.
And Ludin will step forward, and he'll be like, actually, I feel like Urmir would probably have more information about what we're specifically looking for. Urmir?
Yeah, he steps forward. Says, about, I've really lost count, maybe 7 months ago. My father was taken from me by an organization known as Hush. Have you heard of them?
We have.
Is that why you're here?
Well, and she looks at you, Ludin. They will be discreet, I trust.
How about you tell us why you're here after the entire party's here, so that you don't have to give the spiel over again. And he is really like channeling Hesperis right now. And if she has any type of insight, she knows that like that's not the real reason. He doesn't want her to tell them while they're here. Any type of insight. But he's just like, yeah. How about we wait to? I think we should probably just try and get as much information about what we're looking for, so that we can get on the road and at least explain to our friends what's going on.
Sure. So, yeah, they kidnapped my father. Took my arm. There's a man. He wears a red coat. His name is Zevnik. He'll look to see if that name.
That name does ring a bell. She just kind of like she tilts her head up as she listens to what you're saying.
You know him?
Oh, we do indeed. Quite the snake. No, literally, they call him the Cobra. I think it's rather, like, ridiculous to call oneself a Cobra, but, you know.
Do you know where he hangs out, or where you think that our prime location for when we start searching for Irma's dad would be a good start place?
We know the name of the location, but we have yet to find it. It's proven to be rather difficult.
Why don't we give it a try? What's the name?
It is called the Cobra's Embrace. I know, that's the exact same reaction that I had when I learned of it.
A little on the nose, isn't it?
Seems a man like Zevnik thinks a little bit too highly of himself, quite the hubris. Perhaps that could be an advantage on our part.
Do we know anything about it? Like, what it might look like, or how many people are inside, that sort of thing?
Unfortunately not. I suppose that this does coincide as to why we are here. We heard rumors that Trench was setting up a base of operations on the mainland of Aurora. Of course, Trench, as you know, is the chaotic, gallivanting pirate island. No laws, completely lawless. And so, with the collapse of Lacambria, people have begun to move onto the mainland. And when I say people, I say the rotten thugs of Trench. And there's rumors that they set up a base of operations here in Sable. We have yet to find it. Like I said, it has proven very difficult. They've taken great measures to make sure that the location has never been found. Will never be found by those who are not indoctrinated into the service of the Cobra's Embrace.
Are there any other members you could tell us about?
There is Zevnik, and There is Colt. We don't know his last name.
Any?
Identifying features?
Thank you.
You have a question? Yes.
Any identifying features?
Oh, well, Daniel was holding up his hand like this, like he
Oh.
had a question.
Like
Sorry, I don't see
like
it.
a Colt revolver.
Yes.
What's a revolver, Samson?
It's like a gun, but it has 6 bullets. Duh.
The only word that we've heard is that he tends to walk around shirtless.
Huh. I know someone that does the same thing. Multiple people, actually.
Ah, ding. That Colt.
But that isn't much to go on. This is the desert, so quite a few people do walk around shirtless.
Interesting. So how close have you come? What information have you gathered besides, like, these very specific things, areas that you've checked that are this Cobra's Embrace is definitely not at, or?
Well, as I've said, part of the reason why it has been so difficult to find this location is due to the fact that those who are in service to it are tattooed quite discreetly with a glyph of warding that will prevent them from, shall we say, betraying. It's quite gruesome. If they're brought to the point, the glyph will ensure that they do not speak quite ever again, actually.
Have you seen this with your own eyes?
We have. Well, Lesser has, and Lesser just kind of nods.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
they must believe that they are not betraying Hush.
Perhaps. That might be a good approach. This tattoo is not visible, of course. It's, like I said, it's quite discreet.
Interesting. Do you know where we? I think we should give this information to the party, and then decide together what we'll do next.
What are you currently working on to identify the location of Hush? What are your current endeavors?
Well, this is what we've learned thus far quite recently. We've been here roughly a month, and this is what we have learned. We're currently working toward capturing one of these individuals and hopes to somehow extract the truth without the glyph going off somehow.
Maybe dispel magic, or any way to cancel all magic altogether? Do we have any type of room like that here? He'll just look around.
I believe if it's invisible, I think it's the kind of thing you have to see. Unless I'm wrong.
Yes, it's like I said, it's not visible.
I see. Well,
Detect magic spell might be able to.
That's why it's been so difficult sorting the wolves from the sheep, as it were.
Hmm.
Do you think it would ping on a detect magic spell?
I do.
Well.
I do think so.
I mean, if it's a glyph of warding.
I do think so. I mean, there are countermeasures that could counteract that sort of thing, but it would have to be it. If they're putting this on everybody, the cost to both put it on there and then also hide it's probably not worth enough.
One other question: have you noticed anything strange as far as being exported or imported from the city? Anything like mechanical or I don't know, weapons perhaps?
Weapons? Nothing out of the ordinary. There is quite a bit of ore that is being imported. That could be forged into making weapons.
Yes. You see, that's the reason why they took him. My father he was the greatest inventor in the Cambria, and they took him to make something or some things. I don't know what exactly, but if they're bringing ore into the city, if they're still doing it, that means that he's still alive. Or it's a good clue that he might be.
Thank you, Dire Bear GM, with the rate of 9. I just saw that. Thank you so much.
Yo,
Shout out to Heath.
Let me shout them out.
Follow the ore, in other words.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Follow the rocks.
Follow the rocks. I also, this has come up within the past 24 hours, actually. There's a person that's been following us. His name is Cyprian. I don't know if the organization has any information on him, but what I've come to the conclusion is he's very dangerous. And I give a description, or the 2 descriptions of what we've seen him look like, to Hennedy, and I'll be like, even the small conversations that we were having in private, he was somehow able to, or they were somehow able to, pick up on our conversations. I'm sure the organization understands that what happened in Lacambria is still a secret, and we've been tasked with trying to stop lots of those things from happening again. But that being said, I don't know how much this Cyprian knows of our mission, but I'm also a little weary of what other information he might have that the general public is not supposed to have, especially with all of the sensitive matters that we do things.
She kind of just like looks at you, and as you kind of describe who this, like what this person looks like and everything, she goes, it's quite the description, honestly. White hair and red eyes. We have not seen anyone like that here.
Just keep a lookout. Probably tell everyone else here the same thing. And if they get a glimpse of him, maybe follow and see where he goes. I know Samson saw him last night, but apparently he stopped somewhere and was just throwing things out over a ravine. We didn't follow him for the rest of the night, but I do know where he's going to be today.
Do you?
Yeah, at the end of the day, he's going to be at... do either of you remember? My roommate threw away all my notes on accident.
Oh yeah, he said we were going to meet him over there by the fountain.
Fountain, yes. At some point today in the fountain, he's going to be meeting there.
Mm-hmm.
So...
What is the fountain? What do you mean fountain?
Daniel, are you lying?
Because I want to know if you're lying or if you're being honest. Because I'm not sure.
He said he was going to be by the fountain near the Diamond of Sable. Did he not?
No.
He's gonna be by the Oasis.
Yeah, same thing. That's what I meant.
Do you
okay, I wasn't sure if you were trying to lie to Luden.
Can I roll in a history?
Luden would
know.
know.
My roommate literally threw away.
Wait, he said
the
V08?
Oh no!
Yeah,
it's
it was
totally Fountain Oasis.
Sacred
Yeah,
notes.
yeah. Samson remembered. It's the Oasis. That's what I meant to say.
You
Okay,
tell
yeah.
them where you're meeting and what time.
There's no way to know what time. Not with Cyprian and our schedule.
He gave you a time.
He said evening, which is a really large
It's a
window.
very. It's an evening.
Okay, so
yeah.
Lulu will be like,
They clear,
maybe-
clear your schedules.
yeah, I was about to say maybe someone that's not doing anything might want to go camp out over.
Send the
at-
intern.
Yeah.
Send
the
the
me,
intern.
the me of this of whoever your party is.
It's like, wait, I'm the intern.
To maybe camp out at Sable's Oasis. I don't know which form he will take, but that might be a pretty good idea. Just it's an idea of watching it. Yeah.
I'll take a note of that.
Can I push back on that, Luden? I with all due respect, I think that would be unwise. not because I think you or your organization is incapable, but I think Cyprian is extremely dangerous, and I think if he doesn't know what's happening and he catches wind, I think, well, you could be in great danger.
All the more reason to have backup there.
Cyprian doesn't know what any of these guys look like.
Exactly. They could just be other people walking around on the street.
Yeah.
I want you to know my concerns. I would not recommend it, and I think it would be unwise to do so.
How long does message last? Or
Make a persuasion check.
Message is just he can say a sentence to you and you could
then
respond
I
in a
say,
sentence.
Daddy!
Yeah.
As a natural
Natural 20.
20.
holy crap.
Okay.
And to be fair here, Samson literally fears for their safety if they were to engage with Cyprian in a like underhanded or shadowy way like this. He does fear for their safety, and he's worried they might die.
And she sees that, and she kind of looks at you and says, right. It might be wise of us to call some backup to report here. Some extra Sparrowhawks. We have the space for it. Perhaps it would be wise to regroup and call in some extra Sparrowhawks to do so. Lesser, if you will. Go ahead.
I think that's a great idea, and at this point, with the trouble that we got in the last city that we were in, and the organization that we're dealing with, and he'll just look over at Ermir for a second, then he'll look back. I think it might be wise to try and fill up the space with as many agents as possible. I don't think that Hush is going to be happy once we do get Ermir's father back. I think we're gonna have to take down the whole organization that's here, at least.
Taking down an entire organization is quite difficult, but it is a feat that I'm willing to spend the rest of my life doing.
Ludin, just heart breaks, oh my god, this woman. And he'll, and he'll just be like, thank you. He's hiding it, but it shows on his face, like I said. He's bad at lying, can't lie. And he'll be like, all right, I think the rest of the party was going to church. Do you guys want to just try and meet back up at the Strands of Saffron to wait for them there so that we can lead them here? Or do you guys have any other things that would you like to do?
I don't know. I say maybe we should hang out for a little bit, get to know our compatriots a little bit better, and then we'll meet up after lunch. After church dinner, that sort of thing.
Hey, don't make that face. It's a thing. In the South, on Sundays, the cracker barrels be popping.
As someone who has never lived in the South nor been to a church, I've never heard of that in my life.
You are so lucky.
You either do the potluck lunch or the potluck supper, or you go out to a Cracker Barrel or something.
It's true.
The Cracker
Are we
Barrel
having a
be
big
hopping.
lunch?
The Hatcher household after church.
Right?
Be
You
smelling
have to have a
good.
big lunch. It's a thing,
Everything.
Hesperis.
You either
I
be with the
will
church or
say-
you go home and have Sunday dinner.
Yep,
The
it's
Sunday dinner.
Remblasian Temple is relatively unlike a Southern Baptist church, I think, in most ways.
But that's the only
On
reason we go
denomination.
to church, to get lunch after.
These are the same picture.
Yeah, Ludin will just be like, I don't see a reason why we can't hang out.
Yeah.
I guess,
There are other Sparrowhawks here, right? Besides the two we met.
Yeah, we hang out and build rapport and cut back to them.
yeah, Ludin is like questioning Samson.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It's
at
like,
a certain
what?
point, I would like to talk to Samson.
What is going on?
Leading into that, she will say, well, let's see what you can do.
Oh, Ludin pulls out his sword ready to go. He's like, he understands what's going on.
Leading into that, speed through montage, and, she asks, all right, let's see what you can do in case we need to strategize.
He feels it. He's ready to go.
It's the girl version of Lud. It's crazy.
She's amazing.
So that happens if you need to
Warning,
speak to
like-
Uramir. if you need to speak to Ermir.
We've been talking for a long time. Let's cut away, and then we'll come back to it.
Well, if that's the case, I think I want to take our break before we head into church. We'll go ahead and take our break a little early before we head into church, because the church is going to be quite an experience, and I don't want to interrupt in the middle of it. So,
take me to church, etc.
So when we return, we will all get to experience what it is like to go to a Remblasian church with Hesperis, Finali, and Praeria. So we'll be back.
Better or worse.
We'll be back. Get ready for it. We'll be back in just a minute,
It's
guys.
like wild waves, guys. You'll have a great time.
All right, we will see you in just a moment. All right, and we are back. So, shifting away from our friends here at the Sparrowhawk hideout, let's move ourselves over to the living terrace and switch some things up here while I fix Brandon's background real quick.
Wait, what's wrong with it? It
Something-
fell over earlier.
Something moved. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nope, it's okay. I will fix it.
My bad.
I just need to shift you over to the right, my friend.
Just scoot you a little.
I just gotta scoot your booch. Boop. There you go. All right. So, switching over to the rest of you, you guys, Hesperis finishes putting her makeup on, I'm guessing, and you are prepared. Is there anything you want to say to your friends before we enter the living terrace, Hesperis?
I don't think we're gonna go to the living terrace at 4 a.m, so we have a little bit of time to sleep in more if people want to. And Hesperis kind of takes her time preparing in the morning. When she emerges, she's very clean, as she always is, but she is not wearing makeup, and she is not wearing perfume, and she is barefoot. And she kind of has a kind of nervous, excited energy, a little bit like when Luden was leaving to go to the Sparrowhawks with the other boys earlier in the morning. It's a similar energy. Is everyone... Are you ready? Is there anything you want to do to prepare, or anything you want to know before we...
Are we supposed to wear anything specific? We should take off our shoes then, right? I know she's not wearing shoes.
You don't have to take off your shoes now. There is a little bit of a walk. You can wear anything you like. There are certain... there might be certain areas where you might remove some clothing if you're comfortable with it, but otherwise, any casual wear is absolutely fine.
Arya has stripped down to her like linen underclothes, and she's like undone the like tassels or whatever, like the little, what are they called? The laces or whatever. So it's like as flowy as it can possibly get. Like she's very much trying to go off Hesperis' vibe here, and she has like let her hair down. She's like channeling.
Arya, you look very beautiful. That is very nice.
As do you. This is appropriate. Yes.
You look lovely. You both do.
Thank you very much.
As do you, Finn.
Finn has all of his braids out. He decided to keep his hair similar to them, all down. And I guess he changed his armor to the linen shirt, the white linen shirt that he had wore at Dusty Anchor, and shorts, I guess.
Oh my god, like the touristy shorts, like the dad shorts that go above your knee and stuff.
Like the khaki shorts.
Yes, the dad.
You got your Birks on.
Yeah. Crocs.
Very nice. Yes, if you will just follow me. I'll lead them. I think we're upstairs. Lead them down the stairs, and like we're a block away from the temple, right?
Yeah,
you're
close. You're like a bridge. You're just like a walk across a bridge away from it.
Now, I have not personally ever been to the living terrace before. I imagine it will be very similar. The tenants will, of course, be the same, but the individual experience might be quite different. So we will see.
Are we gonna be like singing or praying?
You may, if you wish. There is singing on the hour, and there are many private rooms to pray or public prayer spaces. You can, of course, pray to Lavi. Totally fine.
Is that okay though, to like pray to Levi in like a Remblacian place?
Yes, absolutely. We are. The temples are to provide a space for those to find comfort in their lives, and for many people that comfort comes from their God, and we are very happy for that.
Are
Okay.
you God's friends?
Can I do a religion check? Because I doubt it. But
What was the question? Are we God's
are
friends?
Remlace and Levi friends?
Yes. Because we're
I
friends.
doubt it, but the vibes are very different.
Sure, go ahead and make a religion check.
Can I make one too? Because I read the
Yeah,
book.
yeah, go ahead.
I eagerly await to learn a thing.
Dirty 20.
6. Wait, 7.
Finn says yes.
Finn,
Of course they are.
you believe Levi loves everybody because you believe the best in Levi.
Hesperis just in the
Hesperis,
back, like.
with the kind of gods that these are, and how they're very human in the same way that, or they have human-like tendencies in the same way that, you know, Greek gods are very humanized. Levi, how do I put this? Like, Levi thinks Remblace is a snob. No, he doesn't like Remblace.
That checks out.
Yeah, well, what does Remblace think of Levi?
just
Remblace
jealous.
thinks that Levi is misguided.
They are not on unfriendly terms. There is no squabble that I know of in the larger sense.
Interesting.
I have seen several people pray to Levi within the temple at no costs to anyone, so...
Really? You've actually seen people like pray to Levi? You think there's like lots of people around here that do that?
Lauren, I don't know how common it is to pray to Levi. I feel
So
like
I was-
I've seen people pray to lots of different gods.
So Levi is very different. He doesn't have like a conventional church essentially. Like worship to Levi is not like what you would typically picture. Worship to Levi is done like through actions, like painting a masterpiece or playing a prank like you did to Eula. It's very similar to the Traveler. Very similar to the Traveler.
Can I say that not so much praying, but when I was working in confessional, his name was brought up often.
Wow, so he's like kind of famous around here. Okay.
He is known within the temple, yes. If you would, and I bring them to the.
I'm so
what's the
excited
title?
to learn about your god, Hesperis.
Thank you so much.
You all approach the living terrace. It is larger than the other home buildings, but not that much larger. Probably 3 times the size of an average home. The exterior is similar to that of a greenhouse. You can easily see into the building on one side. The glass exterior allowing onlookers and passerbys to easily gaze within. Outside this building is fairly desolate, and it is a desert after all. The ground is dry and starved of water. You walk inside, and the rays from the gaping chasms above that leak light down into Sable have been harnessed from within this temple. You see where mirrors have been placed to reflect the light all over, and this constellation-like stream of light bounces around the room, hitting these mirrors, like how Egyptians harness light. This natural light, not a single torch or candle. You see a variety of plants, vines clinging up the sides of the walls. A lot of plants not native to the desert, but thriving here in this small biome, sheltered from the dry and desolate from outside the walls. You see a lot of individuals in their last stages of life, tired and worn. You see the beautiful sparks of life, ready to bring new life into this world. The temple branches out to a few different areas upon entry. You see one of the priests gracefully walking around to guests with a brightly colored clay teapot, offering them a cup freely. Those who accept are led back into a different room and emerge later. You see expressions of some feeling refreshed, like a load has been taken off their shoulders, some uncertain, some troubled. You all enter into this large atrium greenhouse that domes upward, and the space is very large and welcoming, 50 feet in diameter roughly. And in the very center of this atrium, you see a half-orc man. They carry a large bucket of colored sand, and you watch as they dip what looks like a ladle down into the bucket, picking up the sand and then moving around the space and pouring. It takes a moment to hit, but you realize the floor isn't an elaborate tiled floor, but an extremely detailed sand painting in a variety of vibrant colors, an extremely detailed mandala-like design from the colored sand from what you can only guess took countless hours. And it looks as though the half-orc will finish it soon. And I'll pause and kind of let you guys to react before I go forward with more description.
Wow, everything's so green and tall. What's that person doing over there?
You've never seen this before, Hesperis. This is new.
I am not completely certain. It's not quite what we do at home, but it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
So much
you may-
more than I thought would be underground.
All acolytes of Remplace share a love of things that grow and can be tended to. Their gardens seem to be more expansive than ours, but
I thought
very
that
nice to see them.
you were more into like the end of the growing process.
There.
Yeah.
We do tend to death. Essentially, it is if you are a follower of Remplace, you believe that the journeys of your life can be painful. Coming into life, exiting life, but also marriage, divorce, growing, losing people and gaining them. And the role of the temple and the acolytes within it is to ease the journey and to provide comfort. I myself am a hymn keeper of the end of life, the pools of death, so I tend to those who are taking their final journey, but it is not everything. If you would like to ask the man about the painting, you may, of course.
Okay, let me just leave my shoes over here by the entrance. Okay. Finn will walk up to the person doing the sand painting. Hi, what are you doing?
Hello, I'm painting. You new to our temple?
Yes, I've never been to a temple like this before.
Well, welcome. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and my friends are over there. He's gonna point over towards Hesperis.
He just kind of smiles and he goes, would you like to add to the painting?
You mean like pour some sand in ourselves?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah?
He points to one of the buckets.
So
there's like a line of buckets, like paint pots along the side, and he's like, you may choose a color here, or you may use mine.
I guess I'll choose this green one. What are we adding? Or can we add whatever we want?
Whatever you wish. That's life. I could do this all myself, make it perfect and pristine as I have the skills to do so. I've done it many times before, but life is not constant. If it didn't change, we would not grow. Life and death, these are two focal points we cling to. We forget we are blessed with seasons of life that experience rise and fall. We cherish childhood, for it is fleeting. We think back fondly on it in our adulthood. Some ache to return to it. We must enjoy our seasons. Enjoy them despite the rough days, for when the season ends and you cannot return to it, hold on to the present, for it is a gift, and not cling to the past, not pray for the future. Sometimes that means letting go of control. And he puts the ladle down, and he puts the bucket down, and he goes, and he just kind of gestures to you.
What's the painting look like again? What is he?
It's like a mandala. So if you've ever seen a mandala, it's like, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like a mandala.
Okay, all right.
That reaction concerns me.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very detailed mandala.
Okay. He's gonna motion Hesperis and pray over, like, come on, come help me paint this sand painting. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, Levite really was one of his big lessons is living too. Like living as much as you can and experiencing as much as you can. Told you they were friends, Hesperis and pray.
He just kind of like gives a quiet laugh, and he's like, well, this is a wonderful new experience.
It is. Okay, so I'm gonna go over to the pink button bucket instead. Ben's gonna start trying to draw like Snonk.
Okay.
On the mandala. But he doesn't draw very well, so it's like a head.
You make a performance check. See how well you do here.
Okay. Did I roll? I don't think I did. Okay. Cool. So 8. So he draws the circle for the head and like 2 ears and a body and a squiggly tail, and it kind of like shifts the perfect design of the sand and makes it a little less perfect.
It kind of looks like a peach with a squiggle tail, like the wolves of a peach. But he gets what you're trying to do. And he just kind of smiles and nods and says, "A perfect addition."
Thanks. Hesperis, pray, are you gonna draw something too?
Good.
Hesperis' face.
Ferrari like bends down and does like some little pinches like long ways and sideways, so like a little plus, and then she'll take a pinch of blue sand and like fill in the little indents she made, like little tiny blue flowers.
That's
Not
lovely.
much, but
Hesperis isn't going to paint, but while her companions are painting, she's going to take this man by the hand, both hands, and say, I am Hesperis Antia at the temple at dawn's rise. Thank you for sharing with us.
Oh, welcome. You've traveled so far. Remblace be with you.
It is wonderful to return home here.
And this is your home. Welcome home. I hope
May
you
I ask your
enjoy it.
name?
I do have his name. Hold on. Let me scroll up. Riot.
Paul.
Riot? R-I-O-T?
No. I just realized it sounds like like the word riot, and I did not mean it. We're just gonna call him Rye.
Rye.
Like Wyatt with an R, is that what?
Yeah, I did not mean for that to happen. We're just gonna call him Rye, like whiskey rye, because I didn't realize that until just now.
Thank you for sharing with us. May I ask, as you might be able to tell, my friends here are new to. This is their first time at Remblazing Temple, and I am familiar or unfamiliar with your customs in this location. Do you recommend anything specific for a traveler?
We of course, yes. I'm very, very happy to help. We have a few things that might be a little bit different. You may drink of the tea of confrontation. which he kind of gestures to the woman with the teapot who's just kind of walking around and asking individuals if they would like some and kind of like explaining what it is and everything. Which he can explain to you now. He says, it's a special brew of our temple. The leaves are grown from a special plant native to the area. The forest leaves, and it is known as the tea of confrontation. It allows you to confront that which bothers you most. In some small form, it is illusionary. It does not speak. There is no sound, and it cannot harm you. The tea helps one to answer the question, what are you clinging to, and what are you running from? And allows you to face this answer head on. You are welcome to face it in solitude, or if you would like the aid of one of us from the temple to be there with you, we are happy to provide support. Discretion, of course, is upheld. We find this is very helpful, a stepping stone to resolution. Our minds build up so much in our heads, making the problem a mountain, much more intimidating than that of reality. Most who drink find that once they face their problem outside of the temple, it can become easier of a task to overcome, because in a way, they had already faced it.
It's very lovely, thank you so much.
The tea tastes different to all who partake, but when you drink, you will see what you cling to. Perhaps it is an answer you desperately seek. Perhaps it is someone you care deeply for. Perhaps it's revenge. You will also see what you are running from, a problem. Perhaps this is a mistake you made long ago, and it is the regret you cannot let go of. Perhaps it is something buried deep inside yourself that you shy away from. Something that keeps you from growing, from unlocking your potential. It could be a many number of things.
Sounds very interesting. Thank you so much.
Of course. We also have some reflection pools and a small garden area as well for privacy and prayer.
Thank you so much. I will be visiting those. Thank you so much, Rai. I will return. I'm assuming that the painters, these two, also heard everything that he said, because I wasn't attempting to speak quietly.
Yeah, they would have heard that. And as you finish talking to him, you all watch as he kind of like nods to you all. And he goes over and he finishes, like he puts a couple more details within his painting. And he finishes it. He places his bucket of colored sand next to many other buckets near the wall of this space, like paint pots. And he takes a short moment to look over his work before grabbing a broom and beginning to sweep it all away towards the buckets of sand. You can see some tourists that are visiting, their eyes go wide and they place a hand over their mouths with shock. And he sweeps all the sand back over to the buckets, and the vibrant colors blending together into a muddied shade. When all the sand has been piled up, with the aid of magic, he waves his hands, and you watch as the grains of sand are divided back into their designated buckets. And he picks up a bucket and returns to the very center of the room and begins sand painting again from the beginning.
I worked really hard on that drawing. All right, what's next?
Well, as he said, if you are interested in partaking of the tea, it could be a very interesting experience. Private, it sounds. I know I am going to pray today in one of the pools, most likely, and we must also, or at least I must also speak to an elder here on behalf of Urmir. Are either of you interested in partaking of the tea of confrontation? I cannot speak to what the experience would be like. We don't have anything similar in Dawn's Rise.
I think I know what my confrontation will be. But prayer sounds nice.
It sounds kind of intense, but I guess it could be interesting. Are you going to do it, Hesperis?
With your 18 insight, you see that she was going to say absolutely not. Would it? Certainly. I think it would be a good experience for anyone.
Okay then. All right.
I will stand near if you need me.
Do you want to visit the garden? Perhaps it is supposed to be very nice.
Yes. Let's do it.
Wonderful.
All right, you all visit the garden. Okay. You walk in to this garden area, and it is filled with a variety of beautiful plants, but half of it is dead. Like half of the garden is wilted and crumpled and crinkled. And there's a woman inside. There are like these kind of like benches just kind of spread out from all different parts where you can either go, and have privacy or join with a group of people. And it's all within that atrium, the kind of atrium like greenhouse that's alongside of the building. And you see a woman there sitting and kind of almost a similar flowing gown that you saw Hesperis wearing when you all first met. And although her garments look different, she is decorated with more jewelry and piercings, and she's kind of speaking to a group of youth and says, "The cycle is beautiful. Like a rose, it blooms, but one day it will wither. But it is not without perfection, or imperfection, or difficulty. As beautiful as a rose may be, it bears thorns. It is for us to decide if those difficulties are worth pulling through. We are Renblaze's humble servants, and we are here to listen and help you through such times, if you wish it of us." Beside her are a small woven basket of cut roses, and she holds it out to individuals and invites them to take them if they wish, as they kind of walk in. And she kind of looks up to the dead part, and she goes, "There is beauty in the end. Nothing lasts forever. We should not be sad, because the cycle is beautiful." And she just kind of continues on. I don't want to say preaching, but
Sunday school, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very lovely sermon, ma'am.
And it's beautiful. There are different parts of the garden that, again, like are dead, and if you were to walk up to it, it would have that kind of crunchy texture. And there are in the middle of this room, there's actually one of the most fleeting of trees, which is a cherry blossom tree. I believe they only blossom for like 2 days or something. It's something ridiculous. They don't blossom like it's beautiful just for like 1 day or a few days, and then it's just tree. And you see it almost looks like a completely dead tree in the middle of the garden. But those of you who are proficient with nature would know that is a cherry blossom tree.
Hesperis will take a moment just walking around the garden. Again, both of you are pretty insightful. I think she's a little bit nervous, but she is enjoying the garden.
As you all sorry, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt anybody.
I was just gonna say, Finn goes up to he approaches the cherry blossom tree, and he kind of looks up at it, puts his hand on the trunk, and he looks briefly a little sad for a moment as he's lost in thought. That's all.
Okay.
I think Prairie would just kind of follow along behind Hesperis and kind of pointedly not look at the dead side of the garden.
I don't want to interrupt anybody. Is there anything else that you guys would like to say before I... Okay. So as you're kind of all walking through this garden, you all hear kind of like some chiming in the distance of a bell. And you hear Slowly rising from the far corner of the temple, you hear a chorus of voices kind of rise up, and they sing, "Another bloom now fades away. The life you lived we praise this day. Your heart is full, you're not alone. From this place you now have flown. A kiss, a hug, your goodbye is grace. Find peace, dear one, in this long embrace." And their voices just kind of carry up and echo throughout. That last word, embrace, just kind of echoes throughout the entire temple.
Is that a song you recognize, Hesperis?
Sounds different in Elvish, but yes. It is a song, we would commonly sing it in the passing pool, I think in common it would be. It is interesting to hear it sung more publicly. Does it, never mind. Did you want me to go first?
You mean for the tea? Or
You don't have to do anything that you are not comfortable with. It is supposed to be a kind experience.
No, I mean, Finn, he thinks about how Hesperis was so hesitant before to, like, drink the tea, and so he's like, no, I can do it first. I can. It should be a good experience. I mean, we're here to, do the things, so...
If there is ever anything of La Vie that, if you are comfortable with, if you would want us to experience, I am very open to this. I appreciate you both being so open to Rembles today.
And quite something.
It really is. I mean, being by your side every day, Hesperis, is kind of like, worshiping Levi, because, you have to, like, live to your fullest. I'm gonna go drink the tea now. He rushes forward because he just realizes what he said.
Flowers are falling behind.
Yeah, he's got little buds in his hair.
Hesperis looks absolutely lost. Does he mean that I am alive?
I think he means you make him feel that way.
The gardens are very beautiful, I think.
Nothing.
She gets very nervous and she looks at a dead plant for like a good minute, just looking at a dead piece of grass.
Priori is very amused by this.
So, Finn, you approach the woman with the red clay pot china set, and she just kind of looks at you as you kind of like leave a trail of like blossoms behind you, and she goes, "Oh, well, hello.
Hi, I am here for some tea."
Oh, of course. Would you like to partake in solitude or with the aid of a temple?
Probably solitude would be best, actually.
Of course. Just follow me. And she kind of begins moving to, she's the person who's giving out the tea. She probably like gestures you off to someone else who will take you back, and you all watch as Finn is taken back into a different room. The room that you're taken to, it is very private, and the light is coming from the very top, but there aren't any windows because it's supposed to be private. And it almost looks almost like a sauna. You see kind of like these smoldering rocks in the center of the room. And
To say like a coffin.
no, it's not like a coffin. There's like light coming from the top. It's not like a small like spotlight. Like the entire roof is like you can see natural light coming in. So like the whole space is filled with light, but there aren't any windows where people can peek in and see you in this private moment that you're about to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Please take a seat." And
Right.
she takes pours the tea for you and like puts like this like linen cloth underneath it, and then kind of holds it out to you because it is hot.
He takes
And
it.
then she will kind of like gesture for you to sit, and then she goes, "Take all the time that you need. I'll be right outside." And she exits the room and shuts the door, and you just see kind of these smoldering coals in front of you.
All right, I did not expect to do this when I came here, but I think Hesperis probably should, so that's why I'm going to do it too. All right, okay, taking a drink. 3, 2, okay, taking a drink this time. 3, 2, 1. He drinks it.
We've all done it.
It tastes different to everyone who drinks it. What does it taste like to you, Finn?
It is going to taste like a touch of rose, like rose tea, with a very floral aftertaste and smell.
Okay. You sit, and you begin to see the coals turn blue. And it's not, but I want to point out, it's not hot or sweltering or uncomfortable like a sauna. It's actually almost like a cool mist when you're standing underneath or next to a waterfall. Like this breeze, fresh air mist just kind of flowing all around you. And these, what look like coals, turn blue. And this beautiful waterfall of mist comes down from the ceiling and just kind of pours on top of it. The blue mist begins to form into what you're clinging to, Finn. What are you clinging to? What do you see manifest before you in an illusionary form?
Finn sees himself back home, training alongside his brother with the sigil, the familiar sigil of the goddess that still lingers at the back of his mind, always. Because of fear, because of guilt, and a little bit of like paranoia. And that is really like the centerpiece of the image, is just him, getting knocked down on the floor while he's training, clashing swords, and bleeding from the side of his head. The training session with his brother.
All right. You see that. Do you say anything to it?
I kind of had a feeling I'd be saying this, but it's okay. It's only gonna last like a minute or two. Hopefully. And it keeps he's like shifting uncomfortable in his seat. That's pretty much all he says.
Okay. The mist senses the shadow shade of your brother just kind of looks at you for a moment as you sit there. Senses that you are not ready to confront it. And dissipates.
That's good.
You then see a red mist begin to form. What are you running from? Or what is the problem that you're having? And what does it look like as that manifests next?
For this one, he sees himself on like a small piece of land in the middle of the ocean. And he sees his home at a distance. And he sees on the other side, there's like on the left, there's his home. And on the other side, like on the right, is his whole party, but also at a distance, like on larger pieces of land. And he is pretty much isolated, far, far away on his own tiny, tiny little piece, alone.
Is there anything that you say during this moment?
He's just like, what is this like what I'm running from, or what I'm afraid of, or what's going to happen? She didn't say the tea was going to tell the future, right? He's just like super worried about what he's looking at.
Do you make a decision? As you have clearly, your mind has manifested a decision, essentially. That's what I'm getting. This is almost as if your mind is telling you you have to choose. Do you make a choice? Do you approach this one of these things? Or do you stay alone?
I think like while he's looking at the image, he feels deep down that there is a decision he needs to make. And so he sees himself turn away from the chunk of land on the left and turn towards the land that holds his party. And he reaches out and he takes a step forward and falls into the water. And he submerges and everything goes dark.
The decision has not been made yet, and the confrontation has not been made yet. And the mist fades away. And the room returns. And it's over.
I'm never doing that again. The worst praying session I have ever had. I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna tell Hesperis it was amazing and I saw so many things and I confronted all my fears. That's what I'm gonna tell her. Because, I mean, clearly that's what happened. And he's gonna walk out.
Can I have spoken to Praeria while Finalai was...
Of course.
Confronting his inner demons in a way that I was not anticipating when I took him to church this morning.
It's supposed to be.
No, it is therapeutic. Okay. It's beautiful, but as Hesperis was not prepared.
Like, oh no, did I mess up my friends?
Back home, there's like a pool. Are there like benches or any place to sit out in the garden, or is it a walking area?
There's tons of places to sit. Like I said, there is reflection pools and stuff. But
Hesperis will sit at the edge of a pool and kind of gesture for if Praeria would like to sit down beside her.
Oh yes, she will keep eyesight with wherever Finn has gone though.
I wanted to say, in case it was not clear, when I asked you to come with me today, I am not in any way attempting to proselytize or to convert. That is against the faith of the temple. It is I realize now when I am here that it feels in this way. It is my thought was only the temple at home is always very quiet, and I thought perhaps you might like some quiet for a time.
Oh, well, I'm not sure what the proselytize? That word?
It is, I am not trying to make you worship Remblaze the way that I do.
Oh, well, not worry, I did not think, I have never been to a place like this. I don't think I would know what to do with a god if I had one, but it has been I am glad we came.
I am glad that you are glad. Oh, that is not good.
What is?
You told me the other night to be honest with you, and this is... Well, it sounds terrible to say that this is new to me. Finn and I seem so honest all of the time, but...
Does he? Yes.
Well, he is never attempting to be anything else, I think. Neither are you. I admire that very much in both of you.
Are you pretending?
Right now?
Most time.
I don't know. I don't know what it would be to not be pretending, I suppose.
That can be quite scary, I would think.
Maybe.
What do you think you would see in there? If it's not personal, it might be.
I don't know. I have never tried the tea before.
They do not have in your temple?
We have counselors, folks who will speak with you, who you can confess to, and many pools of quiet contemplation, and rituals,
you can
of
lie
course.
to people. Don't think you can lie to tea.
This is... I like you very much, Praeria. And
I
I'm
like
not
you too,
pretending
Lisa.
about it. Thank you. I appreciate this. That is very kind. I think at this point Finn would probably be coming out.
Hi, Hesperis. Hi, Prey. That was some very interesting tea.
You liked it?
Yeah, I did like it.
I would like to insight check.
Okay, roll a deception check, Finn, since that has been
Okay.
prompted by your cohorts.
Of course. My
Hesperis is going to choose to believe.
With a nat
With a
20.
natural 20 from Finn. You believe the tea is delicious and a beautiful experience.
It was very enlightening.
That sounds good.
Yeah, totally good. And you're gonna really enjoy it, Hesperis. It was like looking at all of your fears and your insecurities and then going, go away. And then they just went away.
does someone like you have those, Finn?
Well, like everybody does sometimes, right? I mean, I'm not
suppose
perfect.
Hesperis opens and closes her mouth a couple of times, and then she just walks away towards the tea.
You walk up to the woman who holds the clay teapot, and she goes, "Hello.
Hello.
Would you like some tea?"
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
And do you know what it does?
Yes, I believe that I do.
And it is entirely optional. If you do not wish to partake, you do not have to.
I want to do this.
Of course. Oh, okay. Would you like to partake in solitude? Or...
Solitude, please. Thank you so much.
Of course. You'll just follow Caitlin.
Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you very much.
Okay, you follow Caitlin, and you are brought into the same room. She pours the tea and places a thick linen cloth underneath, almost like a linen napkin, and just kind of cups it and like holds it out to you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I'll be right outside the door if you need anything. And you take as long as you need. She leaves the room and shuts the door.
Hesperis takes some deep breaths, has a genuine moment where she considers pouring the tea out onto the floor. But she feels like she forced Finn to do it, Finn and I to do it, so she's going to drink some tea. Finish it off.
What does it taste like, Hesperis?
It tastes like her mother's chai, the tea they would have together in the morning when her mother would watch birds at the very end. Yeah, it tastes like chai tea. It could just be chai.
With a little bit of milk.
A little bit of milk, a little bit of honey.
You sit and that mist begins to build, and it's cooling against your skin, like standing next to a waterfall. And the blue mist begins to form around the room. What are you clinging to?
The blue mist coalesces almost like a pool of dark water coming up just onto her chin, like she's on. It almost feels like she's floating on the balls of her feet, and the water is up to her chin. And there is, comparatively to her in this moment, a much taller, very beautiful elven woman with dark skin, long curling hair, wearing a wreath of bay leaves and gladiolus and other flowers, very old, who smiles down at her and kisses her on the head and tells her that she loves her, and walks out into the pool away from her. And Hesperis can't walk out any further because she's not tall enough yet.
Do you say anything to this apparition? Or this illusion that has formed before you? Or do you just quietly watch it?
She didn't say anything then, and she won't say anything now. She just listens. Can she hear anything, or is it just visual?
It's just visual.
Okay.
There's no sound. It's just visual.
In her head, then, she hears almost like an echo that last line of joining the everlasting embrace. What they sang earlier, she thinks about it. She doesn't say anything. She does not confront this whatsoever.
Okay. And that's fine. The mist dissipates. And the room is empty for a moment. The red mist begins to build, and within the room next, filling the space, and another illusionary form. What are you running from? Or what problem are you fixated on?
Another very tall figure. This one is a man, a fae, an archfae, long ears and golden hair, and he's very disappointed in her. And she's under an everlasting sunset. And when she turns to look away from him, she sees standing quite a ways away from her, laughing, is Samson, looking different. Long ears, less horns, different skin color. What he might have looked like, what she imagined that he looked like in the Feywild. And he's laughing with a figure that looks a little like Samir, and another figure that looks a little like Prearia, and farther away is a very young boy that she can't quite make out. And she will turn to her father, looking away from Samson because she can't do anything with that. And she will begin. She'll walk towards him, and she will begin to say Laurier, but she will not finish her name now. This is not the right time, and it's not the way to do it, and this isn't what she should be doing anyway. So she doesn't confront her father either.
You stand there, face to face, and he just looks at you. His face is expressionless, unless you give him expression. But you...
Hesperis imagines it to be disappointed or irritated. And she wants to tell him that she hates him, but she can't.
And so, with the way your mind perceives, he looks disappointed. And the mist begins to retract within the room, and the scene changes and pulls inward until there's nothing left. And you are left in the room the way that you entered. And it is over.
She will prestidigitate her teacup to be clean for when she hands it back to the attendant. She says, "Thank you so much. That was a beautiful experience, and I am very honored to be sharing in your temple."
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin.
If there's anything else that we can do for you, please let us know.
If you could, I am going to meet with my friends, but I would like to speak to an elder here about a particular... I am a hymnkeeper at Dawn's Rise. I have a friend going through a difficult life journey that I would like to assist, and it would benefit him and I if I could speak to an elder here.
Of course.
Thank you.
I will go fetch one for you.
Thank you.
Just
I
wait in the atrium and I will...
Thank you.
You return to your friends. You all see Hesperis return.
So, how was it, Hesperis?
A very lovely, unique experience that it is an honor to... It's very nice. We are going to be speaking, if you are interested, we will be speaking to an elder about Boromir's father, if you would like to stay with me to discuss. Of course, there are also the private rooms of prayer and contemplation, if you would like a moment to yourself.
I am totally fulfilled in the contemplation part. I feel like I did enough of that in the room over there. So I'll join you.
Yes, let's all go.
All right. So you head over to the to where are you going? Sorry.
To the atrium to meet with the elder.
Yes,
But we can
okay,
also
so
cut back to the boys in Sparrowhawk land, because they haven't had a chance to do things for a while.
Yes. Like, we've been going through all the trauma and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe they built a nice model plane or something.
What are you guys doing over there? As we return back to the Sparrowhawk hideout that you are leaving, I think you said.
I think Daniel wanted us to stay
we were
while they
gonna
had
stay
their
until-
dinner.
We were building rapport with the Sparrowhawks until it was lunchtime, and then we were gonna all meet up after church dinner or after church lunch. But Uri wanted to talk to Samson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, as we're all mingling with the Sparrowhawks and stuff, Urimir's gonna kind of walk over to Samson, kind of away from everyone else, and be like, why? I'm not quite sure how to ask you this. Do you be honest with me? Do you trust the Sparrowhawks?
Can one trust an entity like that? And I think the answer is no. And I want to be as transparent as possible with Uri. And so I don't think anyone should ever trust. You can't trust a business or an organization of any kind, and it's all about the people that are in them. And so I think the question is, do you trust that Sparrowhawk or this Sparrowhawk? Like, for instance, like, we know Luden pretty well, and I think it's fair to say we trust him. So, and he's a Sparrowhawk, but does that mean I trust all of them? Absolutely not.
Well, of course, organizations are made up of people, and people can have different motives. I guess I'm saying I believe in what they stand for. The idea of
That sounds new. Have you always felt that way?
If you'd asked me 6 months ago, I might have given you a different answer, but yes. The conditions that I grew up in La Cambria weren't because of the presence of Sparrowhawks or Sons of Bouclier or what have you, but it was their inability to do what it is they say that they're supposed to. And I suppose, with everything at stake, and, after meeting Luden, I'm hoping that that's not the case here.
I hope so. I hope that's not the case either. What happened out in La Cambria is awful and terrible. And it's not necessarily the Sparrowhawk's fault, but they've got the capacity to fix it and then didn't. So, look, we talk about trusting them because and they have earned a certain level of inherent trust by aligning themselves with an organization we know, but they're still people. They're still just people, and people do bad things, and I think it's right and wise to always keep people a little bit at arm's reach.
I agree with that. They are just people.
I mean, think about this, sir. Let's imagine they got here, and the second they arrived, Hutch was right on the trail. They followed them here, waited for them to leave, and then immediately slaughtered all three of them. Replaced them, and now they're operating out of it. No one would know. We don't know who's supposed to be here.
They wouldn't have given us the information they did.
What, that they don't know where it is?
No, I'm talking about the information about the tattoos and the information about Colt, and even having a name for the place. If they wanted to kill us, they would have done it already. Why with all the ruse and the...
Because Ludum told him there were 3 more of us. Look, it's not his fault. It's not your fault. And they're probably fine. Let's be honest. They probably are. But this is this is the first time the two of you have done this, isn't it?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is maybe we just keep them a little bit further away. And I hope they can help us. And chances are they probably can. Chances are they're competent people who are fantastic and they want the same things that we do. That's the most likely scenario.
And you think our chances are better with Cyprian?
Well, I think if we've got a 20% chance with just the Sparrowhawks, we've got a 30% chance if we've got the Sparrowhawks and Cyprian.
What is it about him that makes you trust him so much? We don't know anything about him. And he knows things that he shouldn't.
I don't think I trust him at all.
So then what makes you want to work with him?
Because he's smarter than me.
It's going to be dangerous.
It doesn't happen very much. To just be quite honest, it just doesn't. Sometimes you look at people who are better than you and you say, hey, maybe that's something I can use right now.
Don't let your envy cloud your judgment. We still don't know what his intentions are.
We know what he wants.
We don't know why.
We'll find out. Or maybe not.
Look, all I'm saying is, can we please move a bit more carefully? I mean, look, we already talked to the guy at the tobacco shop, and we might be able to garner some favor with him, but we don't know who we can trust here. We don't know if we can trust Cyprian. What I do know is at least the Sparrowhawks are supposed to have some semblance of honor.
Let me ask you, sir. Do you trust me?
Of course I do.
Then I hope you know that I would never put your dad in danger.
I believe you wouldn't put my dad in what you consider to be danger.
Look, to be fair, he's already in danger. We just want to keep him in, out of more danger. Does that make sense?
It does.
I hear you. I hear you. And I hope you know that I would never act outside your best interest. I mean, we came all this way from Lacambria together. Not gonna see your dad get lost now.
Yeah, no, that's not an option.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Look. As long as we're on the same page about everything, as far as who to trust and who to keep at arm's length, and I think everything will be fine.
I think the right answer to that is we keep everybody in our party close, trusting, and everyone else at arm's length. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right.
And I think that's kind of what we're doing, aren't we? Oh, except for Luden, who's telling everyone everything as soon as he walks into his home. Which he's probably right, but it's okay.
Look, I understand why Luden trusts these people. He's been trying to be a Sparrowhawk for however long. And
They're probably fine. They seem fine.
yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen where they've hidden their pens yet. So, but they probably took them off on purpose so that no one would know that they're Sparrowhawks.
All right. Well, let's not leave him alone for too long. Go
I
back
just
and-
we'll just go off to the bathroom where I was going when this conversation started. Go find the restroom.
I'll go back out to the rest of the people, to the rest of the Sparrowhawks and Luden. Can't hear you, Lauren.
Luden, is there anything you would like to do?
Luden's just vibing. He's out there having fun, training, meeting people, learning. Doesn't even notice that the two of them left, to be honest. Yeah. He just waiting for lunch and talking.
All right. If there is nothing else you guys would like to do until you meet up with the rest of the group, we can return to Hesperis, Finn, and Praeria.
Yeah, we're going to lunch, so we can do that.
You wait for them outside of the temple.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? I'll wait.
They're about to be finished. I think they're about to be finished.
Yeah,
with the temple.
unless there's
Oh.
something special you want to do with the Elder, I can summarize what I wanted to talk with them about, unless there's things that people really wanted the chance to talk about. Unless, Lauren, how do you feel about that?
we can, there's nothing crazy or special with the Elder.
Yeah, essentially, I'm just going to say that I have, that I'm from the Temple of Dawn's Rise. I know a young man who is going through a very difficult transition in his life, and I am trying to make it more comfortable. And I am hoping that I might be able to help him with a reunion so that he may be around family. And I give the short description that Urmir gave me of what his father looks like. I say that he might have gone by the name of Valerius. He might not have. But if a man of that description has come through, or if they've heard of him, that would be wonderful. I also give a very short description of the man in the red coat, and if a man similar to that has come through or been talked about, obviously they have to be discreet and they can't share everyone's personal business, and I completely understand that. But if there's anything they could share to help a young man in distress, that would be very helpful.
Speaking with the Elder, they haven't heard of, they have absolutely no knowledge of either of these individuals at all.
Well, that's very unhelpful of them.
Unfortunately.
They know of anyone who has come in for confession relating to anything criminal? Or is that not something that they share at this church?
They would tell you that they couldn't share that if they had that information.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's fair enough. It would have been nice if his father came in and said, "I'm looking for my son," 3 months ago or whatever, but...
I mean, he's kind of a captive. He's not like, all right, guys, I know I'm a captive. I'm going to go to church real quick, and then
I want my rights.
I have leadership
Why did I-
duties that I have to attend to.
How did I hear that in Marlon's voice from Finding Nemo? I have to find my son!
Unless there's anything that Finn or Praeria could think that we could probe the church about to see if there's anything. I don't. The only hope would be that someone would have come in with information that they were comfortable sharing, I feel like.
Prairie and Finn?
No. I think he'd suggest, well, let's see if the guy with the sand knows anything. He's unknowable.
Did a guy come in here drawing my son, please?
You, if that's the case, then you return to your friends Hesperis after your experience, and you talk with them for a moment. You talk with the elder, and as you guys are getting ready to leave, you hear the chimes once more. And slowly rising from the corner of the temple, you hear another chorus of voices. Although the lyrics to this are a little different. You hear, "The break of day is here, little one. The weight is gone, you rise with the sun. We echo your laughter, we calm your tears. Your dawn has risen to guide your years. Your page is blank, O little soul. Write your story upon thy scroll." And the last word, of course, echoes out in the temple.
So did they sing these like every hour, or?
Yeah, it is a marking of the passage of time. Time is very important in the Remblazing Temple.
Right.
Oh, so like clock.
Yes.
I thought maybe baby was born.
Well, they might have been, certainly. I was born at the temple. Not this temple, obviously, but they have excellent prenatal care if it is ever relevant to either of you.
You were born like in the actual temple? That's really cool.
Yes, I was born into snowdrops, a pool of flowers, actually.
Wow.
Is that common?
If you are born in the temple, which is not uncommon in Dawn's Rise, you are generally born into a pool full of the flowers that are grown in the temple. It is meant to provide guidance in your life, I suppose.
How?
I like that.
I feel like they'd have to change out the flowers a lot.
They do, yes. No, it's very clean. I can assure you that the water is completely emptied and refilled for each birth. It is not shared.
That's.
Ilai, are you? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
In the next few evenings, are you free to have a private conversation at some point?
Like a private. Oh.
No, it's not nothing.
Of
It's
course
not.
it is.
It's not serious. It is just.
Yeah.
If you have a moment.
Of course, yeah. I'm free. I mean, we basically we sleep in the same room anyway, so we're always there.
Yes,
and...
I am thinking maybe a room where maybe not everyone else is.
Oh,
also there.
we could take a walk or something.
Yeah.
Like around the city, maybe.
Yeah. Yes, that would be very nice. Just whenever you are free.
I'm free all the time. Most of the time. Anytime you need me to be. I'm free.
Tomorrow night, maybe. If that's very soon. Maybe the night after, if we are still in the city.
Yes,
maybe
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Okay. We exit the temple. Hesperis is looking at the wall.
more cherry blossoms.
Daria's having the time of her life.
Praria is just like popcorn.
Like, I'm 7 feet tall. I don't know how you forgot I was here. But like...
You all make your way outside of the temple, and you see Samson, Ludin, and Ermir waiting for you.
How was church?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very lovely, yes.
We drew a painting, and then we drank some tea, and we saw some dead flowers.
And some live ones.
And some singing.
It is very different. Well, it is not. The central philosophies are the same, but it is a different experience from the temple at Dawn's Rise. The temple at Dawn's Rise tends to be more social, and I'm sure we'll all, if we ever find ourselves in Dawn's Rise, I'm sure we would all. Are we having lunch?
Were you able to find any information?
I spoke to an elder. There is, unfortunately, they have not heard anything of your father or of the man in the red coat. I sincerely apologize. I
Thank you
wish
for
there
asking.
was more I could say. Of course.
But
Did
yes,
you
that's-
have?
Oh, yes, actually, we've found some things. Let's discuss it over lunch, yeah?
That is
Maybe
excellent.
in a private place this time.
Agreed.
Very private. This information is not for many ears at all.
Right.
Is it 3 a.m.? 11
No, it's
a.m.?
not. It's 11.
No,
a.m.
I was like, it's 3 names.
Oh. I was like, I thought you said 3 a.m. I was like,
That's it.
wow, we were out long.
No, it's time for lunch. We go to the local Sable comfort food place and get a private booth.
All right.
That's our private area to share
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. The whole way there, I'm looking for Zevnik or anybody in a red coat. I'll tackle anybody in a red coat right now.
I will cast detect magic whenever we sit down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just say that you go to a local, like, grill. Very similar to the tavern, and with grills built into the tables. But it's it's a fondue place. It's a fondue place. There's a giant bowl of cheese in the center of the table.
Can we get a chocolate fountain as well, or is it just cheese?
I mean, they could bring you a pot of chocolate to swap out for dessert.
This is
Just-
so. Do we mix
I'm
it?
loving
The cheese and the chocolate.
You get vegetables, carrots, broccoli. You get mushrooms. You get like roast snake that you can like kind of like spear with your little pitchfork, fondue fork, and like dip it in.
We are so fancy.
Is this what fancy people eat?
We're so fucking fancy. It's
Yes.
great.
Yeah, regular people don't have access to this much cheese.
It's called.
It is like a whole pot. Why would you want to like drink this?
Who needs this much cheese? Doesn't make
This
any
is
sense.
delicious.
Hermir, do you
Not
use
used to
your plate?
cheese.
Just
She's
put
going
it-
ham.
Ermir
of
just
course.
fills his plate with cheese and just drinks it.
It's the restaurant is called the Sandy Smoked Gouda.
Sandy smoked Gouda. Okay.
Let's just go to SSG, guys. It's gonna be great.
SSG.
The
Kevin,
Sandy
no me
Smoked
there.
Gouda.
It's the trendy place to go. Everybody goes to SSG.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Samson just walks into places and they call him by like different names. He's like, "Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm Frank here. Don't."
Frank, you're back. Frank, you don't.
You all be fucked. So, what happened at church? Did anything fun? No. Any new information?
Well, as I said, they did not have much in the way of our goals, unfortunately, but it was an interesting cultural experience. Very culturally distinct from my own temple, but it seems like you both had a nice time. Anyone with an insight above like an 8 can see that Hesperis looks very vulnerable right now.
Aw. Yeah, we it was like, drinking tea, staring at, waterfalls, doing like meditation sort of stuff. And, like calm things that you do when you're like calm and quiet, like death, but also not death.
It was nice
Like-
times, yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we learned that Remblace and Levi are best friends.
Oh. Okay.
I can
eye
contact
with
Luda's like automatically all of like his interest just goes.
I consider my new pantheon lore, and I'm like, is that true?
Luda's just like, oh, if they're best friends, I don't know if he wants to go to that church. Like, oh well.
Glad
Well,
you.
I believe our adventure was a little bit more fruitful than that.
Well, okay, maybe
so-
not spiritually though, because ours was very fruitful spiritually.
Look, I'm glad you all had fun at the Death Church, but
Yes, of course. I am now totally dedicated back on desk. Thank you so much for giving me this time.
So Ludin has taken a napkin and written down. Written down the names that they got. Did I see anything on that detect magic? No, like.
You detect. I want to say it's evocation magic coming from the tables.
Okay.
They're
Magical fondue.
It's like what keeps the pots like bubbling with like and hot is magical.
No illusion and shiznit floating around and.
no tattoos, no wording.
No other magic outside of that, other than any other technical type magic that's helping run this restaurant. You can make an investigation check if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, why not?
What is my investigation?
I feel like that's
So
something.
I know they're a little distracted, but we did find some things out. Ludin has written some names down.
Yeah, I'll let them pass out. Oh, well, I don't see nothing. While I'm
Yeah.
hiding.
Natural one.
So while we were there,
I
these
see everything.
two of these are names of individuals known to be associated with the group we're looking for, and then one of them is the name of a building or an area.
So if you have the information of a building in an area, then we know where to go.
Well,
It's just the name of the building.
You have sudden epiphany, Ludin?
I said there were 3 of us. There's 4 of us.
wait, what?
He forgot about a me. Well, that's
Oh.
okay.
Can we have gotten a me for lunch so that we aren't the worst people
Oh,
on the
God.
planet? Can we have gathered a me to get fondue with us?
Can we
Because
give
Yes.
you water
so
before we
mean
left?
if we did.
You could.
Always forget about him.
You always forget about Cassius.
He's like back at the end, like.
Well, I thought he was
nurse-
busy.
He's like back at the end,
Yeah.
nursing a hot pocket. Like,
No. We live with some frozen food in the mini fridge.
He just looks at
Wait till
Ermir
it comes
like,
to fondue.
He has a tiny hammer that he's fixing his armor with. Because
I thought you thought I was your friend.
I fixed his armor for him.
you mended it. He has to put more glyphs and stuff on.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. Yes.
That's pretty hilarious.
Oh.
So we brought
We're terrible
him
pet
in.
owners.
We
We're
brought
terrible
we
dog
brought a
owners.
me in regular clothes, right? He can wear regular clothes.
Yes, he's wearing regular clothes. He's
Okay,
not in his
cool.
armor.
Can I bring
Okay.
Snonk too?
Sunglasses,
He likes to
maybe?
swim in the
I completely forgot about the pet policy.
In a restaurant? Finn?
I mean, why not?
I'm gonna have to go talk.
You've got him in the little emotional support animal vest in the restaurant.
Oh my god.
He wants to try the cheese. He's never had cheese before. At
Please,
least like
I-
this kind of cheese.
Please do not put him on the table. Please.
I'll feed him from the ladle.
No!
We're all using the ladle.
It's
You
okay. It'll be okay.
It's
Anyway,
totally
what
not
names
okay.
did
Hesperis, press the digitate, please.
Yes, absolutely. 100. Yes, of
Thank
course.
you.
I just take
Could
the
we-
bowl. I take the bowl that I would normally eat out because I don't really eat food. I put some in the bowl for Snog and pass it over to Finn.
They all want to be your friends, but they don't want to eat after you. I hope you notice this, Snonk.
I cast speak with animals,
When did I say I wanted to be his friend? But continue, Luna.
and I will give him 30 good berries and be like, "I'm your friend, Snog."
Luden!
Put 'em in the cheese.
He's having an experience and you're ruining it.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're all trying to have some cheese.
Anyway, if we can get back on topic.
Snonk
here.
wiggles and is like desperate to bury his head into the bowl of cheese. Like, food hand, cheese ball, cheese ball.
How does he know what cheese is?
He learned today.
Snog
Smart.
smell cheese.
Fiddle-Eye buys him Lunchables.
Yeah.
Or you could say moose solid, moose solid.
I'm gonna take out. Can I assume that at some point while we were here that we picked up a map, or do we still not have one?
Well,
Oh yeah,
sure.
we got one earlier from the guard.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure we got
I
all
just-
sorts when we walked in.
I want to spread it out on the table and see all. Just start. Do we have?
You spread it out.
Hesperis spreads it. All right, I spread the map out on the table, and just. We have not had a lot of time to explore this city, but do we have any idea? I don't know where any sort of seedier area might be that we may begin investigation, or.
I think that I wanted to wait a little bit to ask them when we got back, but I'm pretty sure they have done some preliminary snooping. And they will probably have some more information specific to those questions.
I did ask them specifically what sort of things they were doing to uncover this area, and they did say that this is all they knew. So it's possible they were holding out on us, but I'm not sure.
I think they gave us a key piece of information. They said over the past few months, big shipments of ore has been coming in. It could be refined to make something, and they've got my dad here for a reason. I think if we follow the ore, we might be able to find some sort of information.
Exactly. We're also be on the lookout for pirates.
Pirates?
Trench.
In the desert?
Alright.
And he'll write down the name of that organization too. That's the Trench Pirates as well. And he'll be like,
Real pirates?
Yes, apparently, since the Pirates of Trench, they may or may not have an outpost here. And they also mentioned that they're making a play at La Cambria ever since what happened there because of destabilization of, well, the entire city.
Lauren, considering my family's multinational company, can I do a history check on those pirates to see if I know anything more about them? Considering we ship luxury goods, do I know anything about pirates?
I mean, I would say that you probably have some you probably know a little bit about pirates.
So I can roll?
I'm sure you've certainly heard of Trench.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, would I know, like, if they've radically changed their behavior recently? No, I wouldn't.
It's a natural one.
And I start talking about the shipping and I tune it out.
You're distracted by the experience that you had back in the temple.
Right, okay, fair enough.
You know, I met some pirates once. Maybe they're the same ones.
Oh yes, I remember. Fin fight pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Lots of
every
them.
single one of them, one on 10.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very impressive.
maybe we can ask them if the ones you fought, match Trench.
Well, if there's a really pretty one with was it blue hair? Did she have blue hair? I don't remember. It was bright.
None of
Right
us
here.
were there.
I wasn't there.
We don't
Looking
know.
Lauren directly in the eyes.
Blue hair, I don't remember, but she was really pretty. Also kind of mean. Anyway, yeah, let's
All
try
that
to
being
find
said,
Blue hair.
I can tell you it's not blue, but Hesperis doesn't know. I can tell you that I painted it purple.
purple.
As you guys are having this conversation, there is a shuffling next to you, Ludin. and
Like,
like you like almost as you hear like somebody tripping and like and like there's just kind of like a
Oh, his hand goes off the short sword. Okay.
They see you
Take a
grab
look
they
over.
see your hand on the short sword initially, and like you look over and you see like this little boy like eyes go wide and then scurry and like hides behind a thin pole. You can clearly see like their shoulders are popping out on the side, but they're just like
You scared him, Ludin.
Ludin will look over at Hesperis and be like, I messed up. Can you
Yes, check your pockets. And then I will go to
check my pockets as well? Like, what the
Did he rob?
Please don't tell me he robbed me.
No, I rolled a natural one.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, that's why he tripped. Okay.
Alright, good.
Is Ludin signaling for Hesperis to go talk to the kid?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I screwed up. You know, I was about to stab a child.
Wait, why is there a kid coming after you?
He was trying to, as I'm passing to go talk to the kid, he was trying to steal from Ludin, and I'm gonna go for
You all see like the kid shake his head no behind the pole.
And Ludin like whispers to Samson, I almost killed him.
Ludin!
Like, I'm sorry. I'm on edge.
Can't
guys,
just
I'm
go
on edge.
stabbing stuff. That's
What?
Prioria's job.
True. And not children.
I messed up. I'm sorry.
I look at Urmir. Is his face? What's he doing with all these shenanigans and this very serious conversation about our next steps in finding his father?
I mean, as far as the shenanigans go, he knows you guys. Concerning the kid, he's looking at the kid, and he'll reach into his pocket and pull out 2 gold pieces and just kind of like show them to the kid. Yeah.
old is this kid?
Oh, like
Yeah.
6.
And he'll gesture and he'll say,
And he'll just
It's
kind
like-
of like
Just like rubs them together like they're like 2 treats for a dog.
the kid just kind of like, but like
Hey.
not taking their eyes off of Ludin and just kind of going over to you very quietly.
Ludin will
that-
take
that
out
was-
his own piece and give it to Urmir to give to the child as well. Like, and he'll hold his hands up like, sorry. That I almost...
that kid was me when I was 6, so I understand.
Because Ludin had signaled her, Hesperis was making her way around the table, but seeing Urmir doing this, she is absolutely letting him talk to this kid.
Ludin just kind of whispers like a little bit away as he's giving the coin to Urmir. He'd be like, you know, somebody from the streets might know a little bit more information than we could probably find on our own very quickly.
I'll just give
Pull back.
Ludin a wink. Yeah. Yep.
And Ludin will just take some more cheese and also put it over towards Urmir and sit like more like closer into wherever Hesperis was.
Do you give him the coins?
I give him 1 gold piece.
And he takes it and he goes,
Say, hang on. Say,
he does this in order to like, he gestures as if to whisper in
Oh.
your ear.
okay, yeah. I go over. Yeah, I'll lean up to him.
He goes, he's very scary. And he looks at Ludin. He goes, Mommy said not to stare, but I really wanted to see the thing on his face. She said it was rude.
It is rude to stare, but he's not that scary once you get to know him. Trust me. Say, why did you try to take something from him?
I didn't. I wanted to see his face.
Oh, you just wanted to see his face, huh?
Mommy said no, don't go over and talk to strangers. And I wanted to go see.
Well,
But then you gave me shinies.
oh, of course. You know, you should probably make it a habit to listen to your mother. Where is she?
She's sitting over there.
I'll look over.
She's currently talking to someone. She looks like she's been drinking a little bit and hasn't noticed that her child is like wandered off.
Mm-hmm. Anything like, is she dressed any certain kind of way, or does she just look like another patron of the restaurant?
She looks like any other patron.
Okay. Say, yeah, so, speaking of, markings and tattoos and things of that nature, we're actually looking for someone. You seem to be pretty perceptive. We're looking for a man walking around. He doesn't like to wear shirts, and he may have some sorts of tattoos on him. Have you seen anyone like that around here? I know it's a long shot, but
No.
Samson looks incredibly disappointed at this conversation.
Actually, so Ludin, like hearing all this, he'll just
I
whisper.
sometimes take my shirt off.
oh, yes, it's very hot. You should leave your shirt
He's
on.
raising his shirt and his little round belly is just poking out. It gets hot sometimes.
Ludin will take out 2 more gold pieces and he'll be like, I'm so sorry. I do have one other question. And then he will hand one to him and he goes like, and if you answer it, you'll get this one regardless of your answer.
Okay.
And he just says, is there any place in this city that your mom tells you definitely not to go to? Because bad people live there.
Bad people.
Or bad things happen there.
Mommy says that I'm not supposed to go past the 3rd block, the 3rd brick tower within our house. That I'm supposed to stay within 3 brick towers of our house.
I don't think we're getting anything out
Nope.
of this kid, guys. I think this was a vehicle for showing Ludin's tattoo, not for getting any information.
That's cool. Yeah.
Oh,
So
Hey.
he'll give him that extra piece of gold regardless, and he'll be like, okay, well, you might want to go back to your mom so you don't get in trouble.
I'm gonna tell everyone that the tattooed man with the thing on his face is the nicest people in the whole world.
I'll give you one more gold piece.
Yeah, I give him a gold piece. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I'm gonna remove that 7 gold from our inventory.
No, I'm putting all this money. This is out of my.
Gold to a 6-year-old.
This is all from my personal. So you don't have to do it for him. I have no personal gold that I'm leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, all the gold that I spend is for personal.
I won't tell anybody about the monies.
Or the tattoo.
Yeah, just go tell your mom that a strange man gave you a bunch of money to not talk about what you just did.
That's a really great idea. Mommy says to be more honest. I should be
All right.
more honest.
I think that's our cue. Ludin's gonna
Yeah,
leave like
we-
3
this
gold
may
on
have
the
been a
table.
mistake.
He's gonna go ahead and start walking out the restaurant.
Wow,
the,
you guys
the little kid just kind of skips over back to his mother with his 6-7 gold. I don't know how much you've given him.
Yeah, Ludin's already like walking out the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
While they're distracted, Finn's like literally like feeding Snog with the ladle. Like, and he's just like, wow, you guys are really keeping a low cover there, aren't you?
Let's say while Ludin and Ermir were talking to the kid, I want to be talking to Samson and Prayari, looking
Yes.
over the map, just like.
Go right ahead.
So obviously, if they're having shipments of ore, either they have a large building or they're built into the wall, right? Like they need some place to hold it all, unless they're using it automatically.
Very. That sounds likely. Go ahead, Pray.
Well, I just. It's hard to say, so unfamiliar with city.
If there's large shipments of ore and they're coming in, there's not like there's a river or anything that would be easy to sneak it through. They're probably bringing it in through customs. Our friend at the Merchant Guild might have access to the ledgers, who very well may be able to get us an address of where all that ore is ending up, or possibly where they're taking it to.
Or at the very least, who shows up to sign the paperwork, which would be a good place to start.
Or even better, when the next shipment comes in, and we can just follow it.
Great,
If
excellent.
only we knew someone very good at getting information.
If only.
She has a very pointed look at Samson.
I think we can probably get that from our friend. There's the gentleman we did the Rimaraz for. He owes us a favor. Yes.
Right.
He does?
Mm-hmm.
Did he not give us anything for killing that thing?
I know, it's crazy.
Well, we did save innocent lives. It would have been destroyed by the Remeras, so that is some reward in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he wanted to take all the Rimaraz pots in their entirety, and Ermir and I said that were probably more valuable, with us doing some crafting with them than not. So we said, hey, can we just have a favor instead? And he was
And
on
he
board.
said yes?
I know. He's a very nice gentleman.
Awesome. Well, I guess we can go talk to him first and ask for our favor.
Well, I
After
think-
lunch?
I think that's one avenue we could pursue. We also know a couple other things, right? We know that they all have the glyphs, which should show up on that little detect magic you got there, Ludin. You wouldn't necessarily have to know what they look like. Maybe you could just identify one and then maybe tail them.
I think the issue with that is I just need to know. First, I go talk to our friends in the wall to see what kind of magic it is. Then also,
It's a glyph of ward and it's evocation.
I think the issue that I'm having, Samson, is just because it's evocation magic. If someone has another form of evocation on them, that means I would pick that up as well.
It'll be on their neck.
Do we know it's on their neck? Is it always in the same spot?
They told us that it was aggressive and it would end their talking immediately. The only thing that really makes sense is for it to be on their neck. If it goes off, it
Could be under their tongue or something.
head area.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Okay.
sort of thing.
Well, I mean, I can make a daily walk around after we get a general area of where these things might be going and, detect magic throughout the day.
Well, if we are able to, with your friend who has access to customs, it sounds like, find either a person who signs paperwork or perhaps a person who is delivering shipments, if you can detect magic on them, see if they have something, kind of direct it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that would be wise. That'll probably be the first thing. I think we should probably have that up no matter who we talk to from now on.
Sure thing.
Discreetly, ideally.
I do want to say one thing before we head back to our area. Obviously, the organization, Sparrowhawks, you have a pretty good idea that we probably need to be very discreet about any information that they give us. They are putting a lot of trust specifically in me, trying to make sure that I can vouch for each one of you. I trust you all with my lives at this point. But at the same time, also being very discreet about the specific details that they give us would make my life a lot better. The more access that I can get with the Sparrowhawks, the more I can get about more information I can get with our individual and party goals. I have my own personal reasons of wanting to specifically stay with the Sparrowhawks, so I would appreciate that little aspect, little promise, I guess, before we go into the base.
Do you think... It sounds like you think they might have more information. Do you think they know more than they're telling us?
All I know is when... what is her name?
Hennedy?
Yes, there you go. All I know is when Hennevy asked, Hint of you gave me a look that I figured signaled, could she trust you all not to speak on any information that she gave? I was going to ask you all first before I made promises for you all. If you guys feel that you can do that, then I'll trust you to do that. But if you feel that you can't, then I don't want them to give information to us that might lead back to the only people that they've told.
So
If
just
that
to
makes sense.
clarify, any information that they give us, we can freely share amongst each other, but it cannot leave the Sparrowhawks or our small group.
I think that would be wise, and if it is going to leave our groups, let's just make it clear what is okay to leave and what is not.
I'm fine with this.
Agreed.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think we're all familiar with discretion.
Sure thing. Well, whenever you guys are ready, I can take us back to the base, and then you guys can get more acquainted with each of them and ask your own questions there.
I have a follow-up question about return to the base. Do you think it's wise for all of us to return to the base in broad daylight? With the way we look.
And we
Oh,
are
I could-
being watched.
I can
We
help
are
with
being
that.
watched.
I can help with that. With, I'll cast a little bit of magic ourselves to try and be a little bit more hidden as we travel there.
There is always the option, if we are concerned about moving as a group, I could stay at the temple. My background is acolyte. I can sleep at my church if I need to. If we are concerned about all moving as a single group, I could stay at the temple, along with maybe one other, but
I think that might be a good idea. I don't know what level. The church is a very safe place, relatively speaking, but I think if this is all the information we have after 3 months of Sparrowhawk work and a church who hears confessions from all over the city, I think it's time we accept it. This is going to take longer than just a couple days to find out where we're going. And I think we might be here a little bit looking for some leads. So it might be a good idea to try to not only explore the paths we have, but I don't know, maybe also not Cyprian, but maybe do a few other things that might get us in contact with some of these people.
What?
because is it fair because he brought Cyprian up to do an insight check on Samson?
What are you looking for?
Just like, is there a specific reason he brought him up, or am I just being paranoid? Because I think Hesperis feels like she's being paranoid, and I just want to double check that feeling.
I don't feel like there would be an insight check. Only because I feel like it's borderline metagame on that specific. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think so too. Drawing the line between am I paranoid or is Hesperis paranoid? I think that's a fair call.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's some, I don't know, maybe we could start some rumors and try to get them to contact us, perhaps. Let people know that we're in the market for their sorts of services and see if they contact us in any way.
I thought we said we didn't want to them to know who we are. So maybe a different looking group?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely someone who looks different. I mean, it would be the kind of thing that, I don't think it necessarily fits all of your skill sets, but I look at Finn. Well, I think it's the kind of thing we could do.
I could do that. Yeah, I could help with that. I'm really good at spreading information and lying and stuff.
Okay, so we have spreading information and lying. We have following.
I hear there.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Prearia.
I hear there is shop, great market near here. I could sell poison see what I hear.
See who
Couldn't-
shows up.
Yeah, see who is coming to buy poison.
Hi.
It's very wise.
And so we have merchant, sell poison, rumors. Any other ideas as well? I'm not saying that we're not going to do all three of these, but anything on the table I feel like we should work towards, right?
Well, I know taverns generally. A lot of information can be spread there. Lots
Taverns.
of. Her is right. It might be worth just taking a table in different parts of towns and
Well, I mean, and
taking a
he'll look-
rest and listening.
He'll look at Samson and say, you remember that night in Digbrand?
All of them.
The one
Your
where we-
date.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking we could do something like that. Maybe get some information from some of the heavier drinkers in one of these seedier taverns.
All of these are good ideas.
So, all of those. And I did have one that was very, very risky, but I mean, if all of these work, we'll never have to use it.
No, let's hear it.
What was your idea? How risky?
It's pretty risky, but it would definitely help us find wherever we're going. Why not someone try and join the organization? I'm quite sure we can garner some attention in front of quite a few people with some disguised self. Someone steal some things, be approached by the correct people about joining a thieves guild, and see if we can get someone on the inside. We can find more information out that way than any other way.
But then what if one of us joins and then they realize that we're not actually joining, and then then we're in a lot of trouble, right?
I think it's less of the point of actually joining and more of the party follow, where they take that person initially and begin our investigation there, because we don't want them glyphed up.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting idea. I think that is extremely risky.
Yeah, it's
risky.
final if we don't find anything else, but
Yeah,
I did want to put it out there just in case. Be thinking about
There are no stupid ideas. There are no stupid ideas.
As
I don't think it's a stupid idea.
as Ludin mentions being glyphed up, realization kind of hits Urmir, and he says, I wonder if they gave my father one of those tattoos.
I am certain that if they did, it could be removed by the temple or by Arthur Finnell. I might have the ability to do it.
Maybe, yeah.
Depending if it is considered a curse or I don't know.
And if I can't, it's just a really cool tattoo that he could wear like sleeves over or something.
Might explode.
Will explode
Yeah.
when he leaves his room.
Urmir,
We can look at it.
I think finding him would be the first thing we should do. Whatever state he's in, I'm sure we can get him back to where he needs to be. But let's not jump to any conclusions or make ourselves even more worried about information we don't have. Let's hope for the best for now and not expect the worst. Let's just hope for the best. I think that would be the best thing we can do right now. We don't have enough information to make any conclusions.
You're right. We can. All of these are good plans. We can gather information that way and decide what steps to take next.
All right, let's get out of here before we get accused of grooming this child.
All
Hesperis
right.
flags down a waiter, leaves an excellent tip.
How much more gold do you leave?
I left 3 gold on the table.
I give 22%.
But you were about to say 22 gold. Like,
This is
there's
the
gotta be a
most
shit ton of money.
expensive meal I think you guys have ever, with giving the money to the child. This is the most expensive meal you've ever had.
I mean, we often eat.
Fondue's not
we often
cheap.
eat
Good for
good
it.
berries often, so it's all good.
Do they make this liquid cheese out of molten gold or what?
Might as well have.
I know. As
What
soon
we
as I
paying
saw
for?
Finn with that ladle, I didn't need any more cheese. I was.
Well, it's not.
Do you ladle your cheese onto the plate, Ermir? It just kind of.
I did at first. Yes, I had a plate full of
It
mushrooms.
just leaks
and,
off the edges and onto the table and just starts pouring down the side of the table onto your pants.
and it was delicious.
And you say Snonk doesn't have manners, okay?
Oh my god, yes.
I will tap Hesperis and if you wouldn't mind.
Oh yes, of course, absolutely.
Cleaning him up like a little child.
Next time I'll take my napkin and tuck it in my shirt.
Oh my goodness. Whenever we leave, I will cast Pass Without a Trace, though, for as long as it takes us to get there.
Well, with that, I think this is a great place for us to stop this evening. So, while Daniel finds us someone to raid, I am going to close us out here and thank all of our new followers. Again, thank you, The Blacksmith, for the follow, Flock Obama for the gifted sub to Lotsky, Dire Bear GM for the raid of 9, Dragon Magpie for the follow, Fantasine for the follow as well. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us this evening. If you love our cast and enjoyed hanging out with us today, you can always use the command FateCast to follow any of our cast members here on the show. If you enjoy our show, I know I'm turning invisible as my shirt blends in with the green screen a little bit. I'm going into the Feywild, the ethereal plane.
You're going ghosts.
I know. If you enjoyed our show this evening, please consider supporting us with that free Twitch Prime, or of course, supporting us with a sub. Of course, it takes a lot of work to bring you this content every week, and we want to keep bringing you this awesome content. Of course, our subscribers get the awesome exclusive emotes. You get access to the secret corridor channel on our Discord server, where we post a lot of work in progress stuff that we're working on. You can also catch up with all of our shows on YouTube with Command YouTube. And you can also support us on Patreon, where we post our after shows. We're about to have our after show after this episode and just kind of talk through the episode and no filter our remarks and our thoughts of what we endured this episode. We also have our other shows on Tuesdays. Tomorrow we have our Twisted Veil show, which Deanna is in. That is our Through the Breach Malifaux campaign. Not D&D, very different. We use card flips instead of dice rolls. Very steampunk horror. Right now the party is in an asylum in a very dicey situation. Very intense. I'm very excited. They ended on a cliffhanger, so I'm very excited to see where they go next. They're in a operating room theater. I don't know what those are called.
We're in an old-fashioned operating theater where they used to do surgery for a bunch of students to watch you do surgery.
Yes. It's
hiding behind things. We're having a great time.
Hiding behind things. Very uncomfortable. Everyone in the audience is apparently dead, so that's interesting.
Brandon, you want to tell us about Iron Valor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wednesdays, 7:30
Central.
7:30 Central Time. Check out Iron Valor. I'm the DM for that game. We got a Christian and Raina who are going to be playing in that, along with CJ from over on Twisted Veil, and of course the Iron Valor boys. Right now they are stuck in a haunted-esque mansion. Or maybe they're still in a library. We don't know yet.
Yeah, just keep talking. Keep telling us where we met.
Keep going.
so yeah, y'all tune in for that on Wednesday.
They are playing through Candlekeep Mysteries right now. They just started. They're about to go into episode 2 this Wednesday. So very exciting. And then before I forget, I don't think I mentioned Twisted Veil is at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays. So just plug in there. And then Fridays we have Short Rest, where we just chill, relax. We talk to chat, we play some video games, and we just literally take a short rest from our long, busy week. I'm not sure what we're doing this Friday just yet. There was talk, because it's Deanna's birthday, of perhaps playing some Cake Bash with a couple individuals. So we might do that. We'll see. But yeah, we hope that you will join us on Friday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Outside of that, do you have somebody for us to raid, Daniel?
I do. I put in the chat.
Jin MD. All right, we are about to raid them. Make sure to send them some love. Tell them Ink and Lyre sent you. And we will see you all next Monday. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Deuces.